If that intro doesn't get you tingling, you must be off your rocker. Hey up guys, how you doing? It's Reggie again, Ben McConnell here for Sprint Series Finals Round 1 at the Nürburgring for Europe. I've been begging for you guys to actually finally pull your fingers out and show the whole world, especially in OOR, what you're capable of. You know, actually, you've actually done a pretty good job. I'm not going to complain. But, of course, as normal, we have the lad himself. It's Marcon Badger Mikkeljohn. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Excited to be here. Enjoying this pro-am.
Yeah. And if you guys can read, you'll also see there are two other people with us today. We've got James Mead.
Good evening.
Reese
Happy
Spence
to start this.
Yes, let's get cracking. Reese Spence, Rob, are you here?
Hi guys, how's it going?
Are you pumped?
Yeah. I can't wait for this. This is going to be so much fun.
Yeah. Raggy, I love you, say back. I love you too. What face is this? What do you mean? I've just had a fresh trim literally about 2 hours ago, and you ungrateful people say, what face is this? Okay, forget it, alright? You cannot have my face anymore. We're going straight into it. But luckily, we
I
can.
just brought up the face cam and oh, baby.
Do you like it?
Yeah, very much so.
Did it make you...
I'm glad we're all squeezed in the booth together and I can rub your face softly.
Yes. I look forward to a day where we can actually do that at some point in time. It will happen. It will happen. Maybe not in a booth, or maybe, well, not a commentary booth anyway.
Little
We'll see.
Kithlan booth.
But yeah, so for those of you guys who are, sleeping with your head in the dirt, James Mead and Reese Spence Rob are some of the fastest drivers we've got in OOR. Reese, in particular, who I'm still confident is not from this planet. We'll figure that out later. They will be racing in the second race. They're only joining us for this first one, but they will be solo commentating, as in together, the Endurance Series, which is happening on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. So make sure you pay attention to that. It's going to be sick, and I'm going to be racing it. And you get to... I've already been told by James specifically that I'm going to get roasted hard for all of my bins, apparently.
Oh, there's definitely a role reversal in there somewhere, Raggy.
No, I've been
We'll
roasting
do
you.
the commentating this
I
time.
literally said, I think it was on stream yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. I said it on stream sometime. I really clicked. I was like, I've literally been roasting them all season long, and I'm about to get absolutely dumpstered in the endurance race.
We've got to give you that payback.
Yeah.
Been watching the streams back, so everything that you said might be a bit just against us a little bit. It'll be coming back to you when you're doing the endurance. Any mistakes, they'll be highly focused on.
Yeah, James has been watching the streams back with a notepad and he's taken down at every single insult.
Bad Ducky says there's going to be a Raggy spin counter on the live stream. Jesus.
Well, Bad Ducky, if you make yourself over to twitch.tv/Raggy, you'll see that there already is one for his normal stream.
Yeah, luckily people have forgotten about it, so the spin counter hasn't been getting counted for a little while, but I'm not complaining because it was already getting too high.
He's giving you a reprieve.
Hello, Mr. Peabody. How you doing? It's good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. In fact, let's have a quick look through the chat, see if we missed anybody. J-Rock, Paul Berger, Robert Jacques, or Jakes. It's one of the two. Never had it confirmed which one it is. Bad Ducky, Tim Van Vessemale. Good evening, all of you. It is good to see you all. Hope you all doing fine and dandy. Is Reggie going to keep the stream on YouTube for a change? Yes, because we figured out what the problem was. It was my power supply was failing. So my PC just went boom and just turned off. The only way that it won't stay on YouTube is if the extra stream key that I've got given to me, that should fix it going forwards, doesn't work if we do go down. If we do go down, which is going to be really unfortunate, then we'll cross that bridge then. But lap times. I actually want to talk to you guys specifically, Jay. Laugh. What is the time on that? I've disconnected.
Wait.
Genuinely. Is the stream still up?
It looks like it's still up.
Are we still up?
Yeah.
We're still good? Genuinely. Oh, we're back! Okay, we're good.
Oh,
Jesus.
God. Don't scare me like
Mate, I'm not kidding. Genuinely, it dropped for a split second. Oh my god. Alright, okay, we're good, we're good. The fact that we literally just talked about how if the string goes down, we should be absolutely fine, blah, 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 and it just dropped. Oh my god.
You
It's
need
alright, we're
to
fine.
Stop commentator cursing yourself, mate.
Alright, for those of you that missed it, because I did say whilst it disconnected, I was asking James Mead and Reese to explain what sort of times they expect, given the fact that we're already seeing 54.3s right now, and the track conditions are optimum, and obviously with 28-degree temps. So, James, what sort of times are you suspecting?
I mean, to get that in as a first banker, especially the 54.3, you're not going to be on the full heat of your tyres, because on this game it takes about 2 laps, really. Your second and third laps, you're in your optimum tyre window. So, I think we could see high 53s, maybe even a mid 53 if someone really nails the lap. Like the McLaren, well suited for this track. Potentially Hussein could get there. His pace in Spa was definitely around that ballpark. It's not beyond him.
And Reese, with being from another planet and everything.
I think we can get up into the 53s definitely this session. As James said, yeah, bankers on 54.3 for Pierce at the moment is going to be really, really good, especially in that Porsche. We all know how tail happy the Porsche is, as demonstrated by me a few times throughout the season. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get into sort of mid 53s here. Depends if someone can hook up that perfect lap and just get everything right.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the hard part, I suspect. I mean, in terms of pace that I've ever been able to achieve, what Pierce has done is my PB, so already I'm scared. But, you know, Hussein stepped it up already. Previously, was about 3 or 4 tenths away, has already got to just under 300ths of a second from what Pierce has done. So, that, you know, really good start from him. Sarity's the next closest, but, you know, much further out, 8 tenths currently. Again, though, like you said, James, it's so close already for being, you know, getting those banker laps in. Yeah, we've got 4 minutes 50 to go and running out of time, but already to show that level of pace that early is a good indicator of what we're going to see.
Oh yeah, certainly. And you can see the mid-engine cars are going to make it to the top a little bit easier. So like Seredi, I think that's a hell of a lap from him to get out of the chungus that is that Nissan GTR around here. I've never driven it, but I can only imagine that it must struggle surely around some of these high-speed corners, as opposed to like the McLaren and the Porsche. So that's still a hell of a lap time that is put in there.
Yeah, it's a good lap time. You know, it's still a good 8 tenths off the rest of the pack. But if you look basically below him, you know, the lap times are all pretty consistent. So it just looks like Hussein and Pierce are being absolute freaks of nature right now. Hussein was actually going faster before he binned it, so he's had to go back to the pits and sort himself out. But Pierce looks like he's just on about the 54.1 this lap. So we'll see if he manages to put that in. He's almost at the finish line.
Yeah, riding on board with him now. He's coming up to 2 tenths coming into the chicane here. Now you want to try and get down into third here. Try and hold it the best you can. I try and short shift it into fourth for the run into the last corner. But you can get decent traction still in third. But yeah, he's lost a little bit of time there, but it's still going to be a little bit quicker than his previous.
He is very quick. Yeah, 54.2. So, I mean, he's only just in the 2s, but we'll give him it. It says 2. It couldn't be any closer if you tried, really. Yeah, phenomenal uptime from him. Same from Hussein, only a little bit further out. You know, now it's up to almost half a tenth, which is a blink, effectively. Serity, like you said, in that GTR, I mean, I'm driving the GTR on Saturday. I can tell you that it is an understeery piece of... but, you know, I mean, Lazelle's actually just stepped up, put in a new lap time, put himself P3 at 55.0, so good pace indicated. But we talk about this every single time we come to any race ever. It's all well and good doing it in the qualifying, but that's not the place that gains you the points, right? You need to make sure that when it comes down to the races, that you really demonstrate what you're capable of. And obviously, in today in particular, with the fact that there's only 2 rounds and it is the finals, you really want to show off as much as you possibly can. So, you know, for those of you who haven't seen the structure for today, it is obviously the 12-minute qualifying, which we're seeing right now. Then you've got race 1, which is a 20-minute race. And then we have race 2. So normally we have a Q2. We're not going to have a Q2. It's just going straight into race 2. And it's going to be top 10 reverse grid, not top 12. So top 10. Obviously, if you're P1, you'll be starting P10, etc., etc. And everyone else will just start wherever they finished in race 1. And then we move into that. So bear that in mind as we go through into race 1 soon. But we do have still 2 minutes and 10 to go of this session. James, do you think Nathan's going to hold it in? Or is Hussein going to find that little bit more he needs?
Hussein's been really good in our split previously. At the last dying second, of throwing that lap in. I know he's bumped me down a couple of times when I haven't thought I'm going to get knocked off certain spots. But following with you saying with the race, I mean, I know I talked to him before the race, your boy Christoph Holzer. He said that he hasn't done much practice, but he's been so consistent of staying out of the majority of trouble, and especially turn 1 here. Any drivers that can keep away from that, I think, could be in with a real good chance of a podium finish as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've seen plenty of races where Raggy opens his mouth and says there's not been any contact, and then suddenly 12 cars are out the race. So, yeah, definitely, Christoph has shown himself to be very, very good at avoiding most issues. He's definitely not had been incident-free throughout the season, but you know, he's generally pretty good, keeping himself clean and picking up points. You know, he did manage to score his first podium in this season as well, so which Raggy and I promptly lost our voices at.
Yes.
I remember that race. Remember it fondly. But yeah, Hussein, his pace in Spa was pretty incredible. I remember coming into the last stint, and he was catching me, and I was kind of starting to panic a bit because if he gets to your bumper, he will attack. He's, as I said, he keeps his nose clean, but he will go for it. If you make a mistake, he's going to throw it down your inside, and he's going to make you pay for it.
Yeah, you can't leave any window open because you'll snatch it. And that's fantastic. It gives us great racing. Sometimes it goes wrong, but it's to be expected with racing. Insert the Ayrton Senna quote in here somewhere, but yeah. Serudi actually up half a second on his previous lap time. Does still have a fair few corners to go before he gets to the end of his lap. So if he continues at this pace, he should actually... Well, he's definitely going to jump Lozelle as long as he doesn't invalidate. It is going to be his last run regardless, so we'll keep an eye on him as he continues through. Still half a second. There's nothing more than that so far. Of course, would need to gain almost 9/10 if he wants to take pole position. And unless he's got some sort of miracle run through this chicane here... Watching the delta as he comes through. It's still a half a second. He's not gained or lost. Realistically, we're looking at a P3 at best for him right now. We'll see as he comes up, though. Schultz has actually just jumped him slightly, but it's only 200ths of a second. It's not going to make a difference. And there he goes. Yeah, up to P3.
Just watching Pierce. He was staying about level. He's just invalidated the lap just before that last corner there.
Oh.
Not sure.
Badger, point it out. Do it.
Yeah, Hussein's currently up 3/10, which is more than enough, nearly 4/10 now. More than enough to slot himself into pole. And realistically, there's no one else out there that can challenge us. So he's the only one right now on a lap who will be able to improve and take pole position. And all he's got to do is nail this chicane and then the final turn. And he gets a little bit of a snap there, but it should be okay. He's lost a 10th, but he's still up.
Come on, he gets the power down nicely now. Up through the gears, he's going to be nearly 2/10s up here, about 1/10.
Oh,
there we go. That's P1. What a lap. 1:54.1. A little bit off on our predictions there, but still a decent times.
What did I say? For the end of the session, he always puts that lap in.
yeah.
All right on cue.
And I want to just go back and touch on something quickly that Raggy mentioned. He did say that, points are not awarded in qualifying. If you've only just watched any racing for the first time in the last, say, week, you maybe think that wasn't the case and that points are awarded for qualifying. But we assure you there is normally racing.
Yeah, it was a bit damp on it, let's be honest.
Yes, a little bit damp. A little bit damp.
All right, well, we are now getting ourselves into race number 1. So again, remember, this is a 20-minute race, and there will be no requirement for a pit stop. It's just purely go. Absolutely send it. Ideally not T1 lap 1, because we've seen that go horribly wrong. But, we're looking at this grid. 16 drivers, fair few drivers in here, which are opportunistic, I'm going to say. I think that's probably the fairest way I could probably say it. They look for a gap, they see a gap, they send the gap. Doesn't always work out, but sometimes it does, and when they do, it looks phenomenal. And I'm looking actually more at Serudi when I say that, because he has pulled off some phenomenal overtakes in the season. And now that he switched to the GTR, which seems to be a bit more of a stable car for him, he hasn't really dropped that much pace when he made that switch. I'm expecting to see some big moves here.
Yeah, I think he's done really, really well to switch into the Nissan, especially coming from the Porsche. I mean, the Porsche is, it's so tail happy, and then you go to the Nissan, and it's just top end heavy, and it's completely different driving cars. So the fact he's managed to come in, especially into the next week, and just carry that pace through again and again, he's done a fantastic job of keeping that up.
Yeah, I'd say any that survived turn 1, I'd be putting a bit of a bet as well on Matt Lozelle. I haven't seen him in too many issues. Granted, I could have been a bit blinded to some of them, so if he has, then I will put my hand up to that mistake. But from the times that I've been near him, he's been very consistent. So if he survives turn 1 and there's a bit of an incident, I feel he could have a good chance for a strong finish here.
Yeah, absolutely could. But we have seen Lozelle get caught up in incidents before, so to be honest, it's Serudi that I want to keep an eye on, because Serudi, I think, has the biggest elbows on the grid. So it'll be really interesting in the run down to turn 1.
So, I do this to everybody, and I'm going to ask you individually for your top 3 prediction for the end of race 1. So I'm going to stall for a second to just talk to the chat. You guys have a quick think in the commentary booth what your 1, 2, 3 is going to be. But chat, I would like to hear from you as well. I want to see what you think. Can Hussein actually keep his P1 in the in this running race? I mean, the thing you got to think about, this is a track that I would say personally, out of the two cars between the Porsche and the McLaren, I would say, and I'm a McLaren simp, I'm going to point that out. I actually think the Porsche is favoured here. But, you know, it's not massively different. It's just more the braking difference that you can have when it comes to that Porsche going into T1, which is going to be the main area for attack. The power that the Porsche has on the braking just allows that little bit later send. And obviously the acceleration with it too. So you guys let me know in the chat what you think. We'll read them out shortly, but I'm going to kick off with you, James. Who you got for 1, 2, 3?
I'm a little bit on the fence, but I think I'm going to go for Hussein first. Provided a clean turn 1, Pierce second, and I think Lozelle might just get Seretti. Just the consistency so far, I feel like Lozelle might just nick it on that for third.
Roger?
I'm going to go a little bit out there. Hussein, P1, Pierce, P2, Wright, P3.
Wow.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, that is out there.
I'm gonna be a little bit biased towards my Porsche teammate. I'm gonna go for Pierce, who's gonna get Hussein. Sorry, Hussein, but I think Pierce P1, Hussein P2, and then I think Lazelle's gonna come through, as James said, takes ready, and finish P3.
All right. I'm gonna be even more out there. I'm gonna say Seredy P1. I'm kind of going with Ducky here because I'm fully in agreement. I think there's going to be... I don't think it's necessarily going to be the Hussein and Pierce that collide, but I think there's going to be a collision that kind of puts them in a bit of a downward position. I think Seredy will get P1. I'm going to go with Pierce P2, Hussein P3. So, yeah. It's going to be, regardless of who's right, it's going to be a mental race, to say the least, because Nürburgring has literally always delivered every single time I've either raced here or I've spectated here. It's always been fantastic. So we only have the death chicane and then the final corner to go before we get cracking with this lap. Round 1, boys. We're going to have an exciting Pro-Am finals and then Pro finals. I just knowing what's coming, I'm already getting a tingling sensation in my nether regions.
Oh, I can't wait for lap 1. Lap 1 here is to drive it. Usain is absolutely amazing, especially stacked with everyone around it, and to watch it now, I've seen I'm excited to see what's going to unfold. You can't even predict with the way that the track is. It's just such a fun track, and just invites drama as well.
All right then, here we go then. Coming down the home run, we've got a few people saying Pierce to take the Dubski. And where's the wildcard? It's not here, but we're not going to need it because we're in a fantastic little sprint up down the straight. Get that helicam going. You can see, look at Seredy already looking to pounce. You've got the McLaren on the inside. That is, of course, the same. Pierce trying to take a wider line. Seredy coming a little bit later. Might try and look for the inside on the Porsche. Can't get it. Lozelle trying the outside. Did not work. There goes Pierce through. I had a feeling he was going to get the acceleration he needed. He is ahead. I think he will actually hold that. There's surely no way that Hussein can fight it back. But is Seredy going to go for a bit of a big boy yeetus? He's not. He's playing it smart, playing it safe. And you know
what a start by
clean.
Pierce there. Held it right around the outside, and that's difficult to do going into turn 1, especially when your tyres are cold. You don't quite know the braking points quite yet, but he stuck it right around the outside, and then that sets you perfectly up for the next corner. There's no way you're going to hold it around the outside on turn 2.
Yep, and I just want to apologise to all the plastic cone makers in the world. You just saw your creations get yeeted off the track.
Yeah. Very clean though, very clean from what I saw. There were no bumps or grinds all the way down the grid, and great overtake by Pierce again.
I say this week in, week out, there's nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. As my mate said, that rapper, whatever his name is. You'll know what I'm about.
I don't remember your mate's name. Excellent.
He's a pal. You don't remember pals' names. You just roast them. You just go, hey, you. Yeah, come on. Antonio. Oh, we've got a nickname.
0.6 of a second already for Pierce over Hussein, and then Seredi's hanging onto the back of him. It's kind of a bit of a train at the moment, and Lozelle's still sticking there, and there's a little bit of a gap back to Schultz in P5, but yeah, Seredi's sticking onto the back of Hussein. Let's see if he can keep up with him.
Oh, but Wright and Parts having a good battle, having to drag right up to the last chicane now. See how that works out.
Oh, really late on the brakes there from Wright, and he's going to have to lose this position, might even lose another one. Yeah. Oh, he's late on the brakes again. Oh, the size of the stones on the man.
Shelikins is going to tuck back into the slipstream though, after being pushed out wide, and that Merc is a beast in the straight line. Let's see if he can outrun him into the first corner. He might try and go defensive here, but he's not. He's going to leave the door open, and Shelikins going to make a move. He's going to try it. Oh, very late braking by the NSF.
Slavikovsky with a big boy send. I mean, technically it worked. He's got the position, so we'll forgive him on that one. I mean, it was a bit of contact, but I mean, look at it. It comes straight back at him. Wagner looking for the inside. Going to hold the apex quite nicely. Should kind of keep this throughout. Yeah, a bit of a wobble there as well from the beam. It means Christoph Holzer. Never mind the big wide run from the Honda as well. This is such a close fight between the two beamers, the McLaren and the Honda. Defensive move there from Christoph to make sure the Tudor stays behind him. It has done so, but almost goes in the back of Slavikovsky at the same time. But panic over, no one's dead, and so far, no requirement for any sort of steward interaction, I don't think.
I wouldn't have thought so. It's just amazing how much this track, just one little mistake from right that started from P6 and it affected all the way down to P12 just with everyone checking up. Yes, I thought Christoph might have just been able to sneak a cheeky overtake there and get a little bit further up. But he'll just have to wait maybe another lap or two to have another go at the BMW ahead of him.
It blows my mind that he plays on a controller. Like, you see the level of control that he has. It's like, how are you doing this on a controller? But we see Winigeki's off into the gravel, and now it looks like there's been some another off from Schultz.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just looking at back up front, the battle. The Pierce's last lap was a 1:59.6, and Hussein was a second slower. So he's already pulled out 1.2 seconds within the last sector. Let's see the times coming across here. But he's holding that gap. He is keeping Hussein behind him. Soretti is still on the back of Hussein as well. So this is probably going to get quite interesting soon. Lazelle is still up within that fight as well. He's holding onto the train.
We've just seen a replay of what happened to Tudor. Tuna and Holzer had a bit of a contact. It was Tudor. It looked like he sent it down the inside of Holzer and then just got punished for it. Rotated off to the grass. He is now down to second to last, but end of the day he's still rolling and anything can happen in these races. But at the same time, Joe Wright with let me prep for this. Schelikens. There you go. That's apparently how you do it. He's right all over the back of him. He is rapid in that Merc. He doesn't always seem to keep it completely consistent, but the pace is still there, and when he can keep it together, he's able to fight hard. And, Joe, somebody when he has got his consistency reined in as well, he's no slouch. He's definitely someone to watch out for.
Yeah, and Wagner's keeping tabs on both of them as well. He's not losing a toe. So I think he's hoping that if Shelikins, I can't do it like you can, so I don't want to butcher his name any more than say it again. But I think he's hoping if those two can have a little battle, he might be able to pick up some pieces and just skip ahead of these. So I feel like it's brewing. There's something just brewing gently, and it could boil up in the next lap or two between these three.
Yep, and to be honest, there's a battle right now going from P6 all the way down to P11, so any one of these guys is just looking for an opportune moment. If any mistake, there's plenty of people there to pounce on you.
Absolutely. I mean, we're having a look at the last laps. Sort of Pierce was 54.7, Hussein 54.5. 2/10 on that, but he is closing the gap. It's now down to a second on this last sector split. But just having a look at the way the cars are coming round, we sort of have a breakaway of the top four, and then we've sort of got Parties in P5. It's all a bit on him by himself at the moment. Let's see if Wright can do something about that. But then P6 back to P11, we've got another train there, and then back from car 267 as well. So still pretty close, but all sort of split up into their own trains, I think.
Yeah, we actually saw Wagner go for a nice juicy move on the inside of Schelikens, who just made a bit of a boo-boo going through the final corner. Opportunistic, and he went through it, and actually Schultz trying to do an outside through turn one. It's not ideal through there, like you said earlier, Reese. It's a very difficult maneuver to try and pull off going around the outside of somebody. You have to stay super close to the outside of their car anyway, and then also carry more momentum. So you're really asking a lot from the car to try and keep that all together, but yeah, I don't know what exactly has happened to Mick. He seems to be struggling in that Merc now. As I was just saying, he's really good and somebody to watch out for. He suddenly starts getting overly pressured, and actually, look at this. You've got the Hondas swarming him right now. Actually trying to get stuck in. That is Schultz, who's now actually going side by side with Slavikovsky, who's going to try and stick it all the way around the outside. He can't get the run he needs, especially with the Merc in the way, but Schultz is through. He's back up to P8, and he's working his way as far forward as he possibly can. considering where he qualied, he's going to want to go for more. Oh, big crash between the three of them. That's a mistake and a half, and Mick gets rotated. Schultz actually loses more places than he gained. I think I wouldn't want to be the stewards there because I don't think I could point a single finger of blame on anybody there.
No, that was just a build-up effect. Like I said, it was brewing the lap before, and with everyone checking up and everything like that, you're losing so much speed. It brings everyone in instantly into the battle. Then everyone's trying to fight for the space. All it takes is one person to just slightly brake a little bit too early or brake a little bit too late, and it can affect all of them. And there's just you run out of room to be able to move and avoid it. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a steward's nightmare. But hopefully Shellikins can carry on and it not be too damaging, we hope.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of positions. As we said, one mistake in that train, you were going to lose a lot, and he had to wait for pretty much the entire field before he could get back onto the track. But just looking, Hussein's actually making some inroads now on Pierce, or he was up until right there when I started speaking. It was a 10th faster for the last 2 laps, but this lap there, he is now a 10th slower. So he's lost that momentum. We'll keep an eye on that and see if he's able to do anything. But I think Pierce has now realised that he was getting caught and has just put the foot down a little bit further.
Yeah, absolutely. And Soretti was on the back of them, as I said before. He seemed to have dropped off. I think he made a little mistake back in turns 14 and 15 in that chicane before, as Matt Lascelles almost collects the back of him going through there. Now, these guys are going to battle hard, I think. They're quite similar, seem to be match similar on pace. And that Aston, although it doesn't have good drive sometimes out the corners, it can be a beast on the straight. Saying that, though, he's behind the Nissan, which I wouldn't be able to catch anyway.
Well, I mean, the Nissan in itself we nickname it the Big Chungus for a reason. It is a huge car to be stuck behind. Trying to get around that thing is a nightmare, which I'm really glad about them driving that on Saturday. But, you know, the other thing you got to think about is it's fast on acceleration. Its top speed is no slouch. It's also not that bad when it comes to the cornering, and the braking still pretty solid too. So overall, it's a really good, like, mid-tier car. It's not a bad car at all. It's just, you know, once that car is ahead of you, getting past it is so difficult. And we saw Lascelles go for a bit of a late break. It didn't work out. Lascelles did screw up in towards turn 1, which we saw the replay of. It was only a minor one, but it allowed Lascelles to close it quite nicely. However, he has fixed it since then. Look at him back up to almost a full second gap, which is great news for him. But, you know, you got to stop making these mistakes if you want to be able to hold that podium position. Yeah,
the Aston, you can brake quite late with the Aston, but it's all about that maintaining the mid-corner momentum. You have to be really committed with it. It's quite forgiving, but like there, you saw Lascelles came really hot into turn 1. You have to be really on the edge to be able to just carry the pace round with the Aston, and then it's good in a top speed, but against the Nissan, to be honest, nothing's good in a top speed against the Nissan. But just touching on our boy Holzer, I mentioned that his consistency is good, and look who's creeping up into the top 10. He's only half a second away, just picking off from these mistakes from other people, staying consistent, grinding out the laps, doing a really good solid job.
Yep, and as it stands right now, he would be starting P2 in the next race. So that would be a great for him. We saw, you know, he'd been given a reverse grid pole before, and managed to turn it into a win. So once he's out there in the front, he could potentially hold it, but let's see if he can get some more positions in this race. I'm sure he would love to do that on track and not just hold for that P2 for the next race.
And just looking back to this battle here, P13, P14, and Tudor goes down the inside of Williams there. I think Williams left in the space and kind of backed out of it a little bit, but really good move there from Tudor, late on the brakes going into that hairpin. It's kind of cambered, so it is difficult to make a move on the outside. You definitely don't want to be stuck on the outside over there, because it sets up the run over into the next fast left and right, and you really don't want to be alongside someone going into that series of corners.
No, definitely not. It's definitely far from ideal, but yeah, like you say, good move from Tudor. And, you know, fantastic to keep that going. Just now to see what you can recover from this, because, you know, like you say, top 10 is the best place to be. It's the place where you're going to get, you know, right at the front of the grid if you can make it to the later end of the top 10. But, you know, the hard part is getting there realistically. You know, it's not impossible, especially if Williams next to Boo Boo like that. That
was a save.
Yeah,
that was a save.
mean, the portion itself, when it snaps, is uncatchable.
goes,
But to
it
go
goes.
off like that and then catch it like that is very good going. And Seredy is starting to feel the heat again from Lozelle. The gap has reduced quite significantly. He's very close to the back of him. We'll monitor it. We'll see what happens. There's a fair few fights going on, but I think this P3 fight might be the juiciest, shall we say.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a juicy fight for him. Like I said, the corner speed is what you need to keep up with the Aston, but it struggles on the exit. So it's really actually difficult to make a good, clean overtake with the Aston. It has to be quite a send. So to do it safely is going to be difficult for Lozelle, but I've got faith in my Aston teammate that it can pull it off. Just watching as well, Tudor has just joined the battle with Trainer and Friedrichsen. And he has just taken Trainer to move up into 12th. So that's 2 positions in the last 2 laps with 2 beautifully clean moves. And just a side note as well with Fredrickson, he's actually struggling. He tested positive for COVID and he's really struggling. So for him to be here and grinding it out as well, massive hats off to him for that as well.
Oh, somebody's dead.
Yep, it's Schultz. He's just spun off in the gravel and he's waiting for all these guys to go past before he rejoined. Which is good, as he should.
Replay?
Yeah, did not know about Fredrickson's COVID, so we wish him a speedy recovery. That will definitely take the wind out your sails.
Yeah, absolutely. Hats off to him. It must be pretty hot and sweaty right now in his cockpit. But yeah, just going back to that with Schultz there, I think he just got a little bit tail happy going into the left-hander. It's quite easy to do actually through those Schumacher S's. As soon as you get the car on balance going through the left-hander, especially with being at such high speed, you know, you're trying to catch the car, trying to catch it, but there's so much of a chance of overcorrecting it, especially at those kind of speeds. It's really difficult once it starts to go there.
Yeah, 100%. And the amount of times I've gone through that shimmy S's and just found myself pointing the wrong direction. You know, there's a whole range of different things that can cause it. You can either, like say, just turn in too much and then your back end steps out, or you can just clip the inside curve a bit too hard and the back end steps out, or you can then clip the gravel on the right side and then your back end steps out. It's just, you know, they are death without a doubt. You got to really keep it all reined in. To do it lap after lap after lap consistently without having any issues is not easy to say at the least. We do have a beautiful little 3-car fight. This is for P10 now. Due to Schultz having that issue, it has now become Tudor. I said earlier, you know, he's got to really work hard to get this top 10, and he's proven that he's got the goods to do it.
Yeah, and this, remember, is actually pole position for the next race. So it's a really good position to be fighting for. It's got a lot of weight for these guys. So yeah, this could turn up to be quite a spicy, well-heated battle here.
Yeah, and you can see Tudor's trying to play some mind games there on Fredrickson. He's just eking slightly to the inside to make it look like he's going for the send, but so far, Fredrickson's been pretty well composed, and we'll see if he can maintain that, because Tudor's he's wanting to force a mistake to make it nice and easy for himself, but he's not afraid to go for the send if it opens up. You can see just how much he closed in there, so he's definitely, Fredrickson needs to be checking his mirrors.
Absolutely, and what do we all say? Slavin fast out. He just needs to try and get that exit. I mean, the Beamer's no slouch in the straight line again, especially up on something like the Audi. So, he's just got to try and get a clean exit. Just try and pull along. So here he goes. Oh, I thought he was gonna stick a nose in there. Backs out of it wisely, going through the chicane. As I said, again, it sort of tightens up there. You don't want to be going too wide. It's just going to cost you both time, and you want to be working almost together at this point, because you're sitting there with Max Trainer behind them, and they don't want to lose. As much as Tudor's fighting for P10, he could easily lose down to P12 if he gets it wrong and all of a sudden Trainer's passed him and made that move. So when you're in the middle of a three car battle like this, you really got to use your head and be really smart about every move that you make.
We all know that you wanted to say it in the middle of a three-way.
It's only taken one stream.
Yeah, we broke him already. It's fine. Just flick back to the standard TV cam. So we've got a fair few trains going on, to be honest. I mean, the battle for P1 was getting quite close. I mean, last lap is separated significantly. I mean, Nether Pierce did a 54.699, and then Hussein's done a 55.214. So pace did drop a little bit in that last lap, but he was actually slowly pulling Pierce in. Got to around about 7/10 before he suddenly dropped off. So Got to rein that in a little bit. We've also got this still the same juicy fight that we've been seeing for quite a while, which is Serity and Lizelle going for that P3 fight. And then even P5's got their own little scrap between Penalties and Joyride. But then you got that train that we've been talking about and been watching for a little while. This is for P10, but it's actually more for P9 because, Slavikovsky, 5-second penalty.
Yep, he just got given that there, and I've had a look. I can't see that he had any contact.
Oh!
So I'm not 100% sure what it's for, as we see Tudor attempting to make the move there. He's had to back out of it, but he would look to go around the outside. Fredrickson's definitely having to be on the defensive right now.
I'm not sure whether it could have been for that incident before with Shadikins, where he, I mean, obviously it might have just been a stack up, but, you know, we're not the stewards, we don't make those sort of decisions.
Yeah, as a steward, 5 seconds, it is going to be a minor infringement of some sort. It's that he hasn't made a big serious error. It might have just been a little bit of a slightly excessive door banging or just a small miss of the brake marker just causing a little tap. So it's nothing huge, but it does put up into 8th. But equally brings him closer to the reverse grid. So it would put him second potentially on the reverse grid.
Yeah, I mean, those minor penalties, whilst, you know, I mean, a 5 second in a race like this could actually make a huge difference. Like you said, at the minute, it's only going to put in P9, and that's you know, good to see. But at the same time, it's a problem for... he's going to lose those points that he's going to need. We're only talking about a 2-round little mini-series that we're going to be seeing. And if you lose that one place, you could be the difference maker between being up there. I mean, obviously, we need to see how his race 2 goes and how his second round goes as well, but... You know, if you're only a couple of points away from potentially taking a whole overall victory, that is a massive, massive difference. You can't afford to be making those mistakes. I think his contact was actually with McFriedlich, Mr. Christoph.
He's not actually had any contact. We've just had an update from Adrian in the chat saying that the penalty is for being more than 2 car lengths behind at the start. So he basically messed up the start procedure, which we know that we're clamping down on right now because there's been a lot of inconsistency. So this is just the stewards showcasing that, yep, you need to behave, otherwise you're getting the good old slap on the wrists.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of them. It can be a very, very fine margin between, you know, what's right and what's wrong. It could have been even a couple of kilometers over, but as they said in the previous post, they are really clamping down on this. As we see the Beamer go for a move around the outside of the Audi. They make contact there, running the Audi a little bit wide, but he's actually flashing the Audi. He's telling him he's probably not too happy with that move. Going into the chicane, then they took back into 1 wide. But this is what I was saying. Look at Max Trainer now. He's right on the back of them still, and he's just ready to pounce just in case the Beamer goes a little bit into the Audi there.
Yeah, if he times his slingshot, he just hasn't got enough. If Max Trainer had just timed that slingshot correctly, he could have got the whole shot on both of those two down the straight. But Tudor's going for it now. The power of the BMW is going to outdrag the Audi.
And here comes Schultz on the inside as well.
Oh.
Schultz has got Max Trainer now.
Oh, the undercut back though from Fredriksson.
To be honest, that would have been very, very cheeky if Tudor had kept that, because the initial bump is what made Fredriksson so slow going down that straight. So it would have been very cheeky to take that position, but he's managed to maintain it. He's kept himself out in front. But to be honest, the size of the stones on Fredriksson there, you know, it gave just enough space. It gave like a car width and an inch. That was absolutely millimeter perfect for that defense.
Now we are, of course, on the final lap. The white flag is being shown, and our race leader, which is currently Pierce, is coming up towards the final chicane. So we'll go to them shortly, but we do want to keep full tabs on this big scrap, which is effectively for reverse grid pole. Bear that in mind. Like, whatever mistake any one of these guys makes, like that one there from Schultz, he's just run out wide. That's actually going to allow Trainer to get a bit of a run on him here. Might go for a bit of a send, but we'll go back to our race leader, because through the final corner onto the home straight, Nathan Pierce will take the victory here. Hussein will be P2. It looks like it's going to be Serity who will keep P3 with the Zell P4. We need to keep tabs, like I said, on this scrap. One tiny error from any one of these drivers could make the difference between being in reverse grid.
Right's gone off from P6. Wagner and Slogowski. Oh, there's a contact.
Oh, contact again.
Oh, right at the dying seconds. You said it's all about points, and they're trying to get as many points as they can right up to the last corner.
And we've even got, I think it was Schultz has gone off as well.
Yep, Schultz.
And Slogowski might
not even be clear
now.
On Tudor and
Oh,
Trainer are side by side.
oh, the beamer.
Oh,
The power in the beamer.
what a finish.
Take a bow, lads. Take a bow.
Did we or did we not say that P10 was going to be forcefully fought for?
That was a scrap and a half to say the least. They really, all of them wanted it so desperately. But yeah, Fredrickson, he's the one who keeps it. Takes that reverse grid pole going into the next race. And you know, again, there's no Q2. We're going straight into race 2, and so he
I need
will
to go
start.
lie down.
Right, yeah. you go get a nap.
I think I need Q2 quality just so I can go take a nap.
You've got 3 more races to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going nowhere, mate. Sit tight.
I can't take 40 minutes of this. What?
My poor
I'm going to
little
fall asleep
heart.
at the wheel in the second race.
I just want to point out as well, Slovikovsky did get a 5-second penalty that we said for that racing start procedure. He was only just less than a second ahead of Fredrickson. So if he'd have been a bit slower at recovering, he would have dropped significantly down the field. Like there was a really good chance that could have gone really badly for him. I know it says Q2. We are looking at.
We saw him and he was clear, wasn't he? You know, he was in a safe position, but as I said, it all comes down to that last lap. He almost put himself on the line there to be out of the top 10 and have to start 11th.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I'm stressed.
Take a breather, guys. Just take a breather after that one. That was insane.
you got
What
a
a good
5-minute
finish.
break. Go have a nap. Go and spruce yourself up. Get yourself ready. Yeah, put some makeup on. Ready for the.
Put some, you know, perfume. Do my hair. Just make myself look pretty so that the next time someone rips out my heart at the finish line, it'll be okay.
I mean, I honestly just did not know where that was going to go. When you saw, like when you called out, James, that a few cars were already fighting and spinning, and then it just seemed to cause a chain reaction because Schultz got, done over really pretty hard in that, in the end stages of that last race there. You're going through into that chicane, he just made a bit of a mistake, and oops, off you go into the grass, and then even more disaster followed it straight after.
Yeah, we couldn't keep track of it. I noticed that Wright had gone off, and then, like you say, it was a chain event, and it was just watching cars like Skittles for a period of time, just different ones in the grass, and then they were all side by side, trying to make out who's actually overtaking who. And if you actually looked at both groups as well, they were pretty much all in the same car order as well. The BMW, Ferrari, it was like a repeat from 5th, 6th, and 7th to 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. It was a crazy finish, but full commitment from them all right to the dying seconds across the line. And Max Trainer really trying to just get the drag and get the photo finish. I think he just fell a little bit short to Tudor over the line, but the commitment from them all at the finish of that, it's great to see. It's great to see them really pushing for these final results.
Yep, so Tudor there obviously had the slipstream from Fredrickson ahead, but Trainer only finished 8 hundredths behind. It was so close. Trainer must feel absolutely hard done by with such a great audacious attempt at the end and then kind of getting nothing for it. But, you know, that was very opportunistic there. He saw disaster strike and he was like, this is my moment, final lap, let's go. And, you know, just if he'd got the slipstream from Fredrickson in front, he probably would have got that position.
And then you look down from Holzer, and you've got a 13-second gap back to Slowiskowski. I mean, that was how much these guys were fighting. They lost so much time. You know, Holzer was just there keeping his nose clean, running in clearer, and 2.5 seconds off right. And then these guys were just absolutely battling. You just look at the amount of time that they've lost. But you look at the between 10th down to 14th, they're all finishing within a second of each other, within a couple of tenths, some of them.
And they were all within about 10 seconds, like you say, from before that incident. So they were just taking lumps out of each other in that last lap and losing time hand over fist, but they weren't bothered. They were just all for that position.
It's honestly, this is what we live for, right? We come to watch these races because we know there's going to be phenomenal overtakes. And I'm never, ever disappointed at all whenever I watch these. Why are they not going out for an outlap? Because Q2 is like a go wee kind of break. They're not
someone's taking it upon them to go out on track. Who's that?
Fredrickson.
Fredrickson.
You wouldn't think he's
giving us a
COVID
solo
positive
show
right now, would you? So
he's he's doing a lap of like a celebration right there. He's just like, you know what, guys, that was a hell of a. To be honest, he's probably going out because he's like, I'm starting on pole anyway, so you know I might as well go out there, do a lap, and then start at the front, and then everyone can line up behind me.
It's all about data gathering. He's gathering the data for the next race. He's trying to get the heads up on the competitors.
He's got that racing brain switched on right now. That's what's happening.
It reminds me of the Stig. You just cannot be out the car for a single second. Every single second he wants to be on the track, going for those laps. But what a race. What a race.
And we've got one more to go. And that's just for this. You know, this is the Pro-Am. Base that on, these are the guys who are supposed to be that slight bit slower than the pros. Imagine when we get to the pro races and, you know, you two guys are in there giving it the full beans. Like, I am expecting it's going to be messy.
It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be messy. It's going to be fight to the death in ours as well. And I think that's what's so good about these series and the way we run the, you know, the splits of Pro-Am and pro drivers. And because everyone, no matter what class you're in, even if you're not, you know, as quick as some of the quickest guys, you can still get a class win. So, you know, you're still up there and you could lead the Pro-Am championship or the Am championship. So there's a lot more to fight for than just sort of finishing, you know, mid-pack every race.
And everyone's so dedicated. It doesn't matter if you're an Am, Pro-Am or Pro. Everyone's putting a lot of time into this, so expect hard racing, but mainly fair and clean. And like you said earlier, Ben, like, this is why we do it. I would much rather prefer to finish 10th or 15th and have a battle like they had, an almighty tussle for 20 minutes, than just be on my own and drive around. Even if I'm doing better laps on my own, it's the enjoyment is in the fighting and the overtakes, and to produce that once again, yeah, just great to watch.
Well, we've got it all to look forward to, but we've got ×2, double the time.
40 minutes on the clock. No pit stops, remember. They're just going to give it the full beans, as was the case before. They've got the top 10 all set up, ready to go. They will get their call out in a second as to who's going to, you know, sorry, when the clock hits 0, then they'll get called to go into their little line. And we're not going to see a line, I can almost guarantee it, because these guys don't know what a straight line bloody looks like. Somebody needs to buy these guys some stationery and give them a ruler so they can figure out what a straight line looks like, because it hurts me every time we come to the... I'm fine.
You can blame me for that one. I think I'm the instigator of most of them in the previous races. I'm often looking down at the dash, doing my tyres, doing my fuel, and then all of a sudden there's a car in front of me, and I'm gone.
Don't lie. I hear you in the chat with me. You're constantly just saying, I know it winds Ben up so much, I'm just going to set him off and just be that extra millimetre to the right.
That's the real reason. Just stick out of line very slightly. Just get the OCD going.
I will remember that. Don't you worry. I will remember that. I'm never letting that one slip now. Every single time you screw up, I'm going to make sure I roast you alive, okay? But you don't understand what's on the line here.
Next race with the one that we're in, we're going to get roasted so hard.
The first split that does it is getting stubby holders, right? For all of the drivers, not just the comms, the drivers are getting stubby holders, right? So you get something out of it. Why would you not do this? Sorry, I'm okay. I promise.
I don't know, it just surprised me sometimes when I've pulled up and then you get the silhouette of another car gone through here and I just think, how? I don't know how it's happened. We're crawling.
And I'm glad we get ghosted on these formation laps, because that race where we had the safety car and I saw about 3 or 4 people spin out during the safety car. Or hit the back of each other. It was either or.
It's
but,
just pain.
We need ghosting during those times. Oh, and here goes Friedrichsen again. Look, he just wants to get out there.
Well, he's actually on pole anyway, isn't he? For the
he's miles out of the field already. Look at him go.
He is pieced out.
Can't catch him.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this. I've got to hold my FN keys in order to do this. Let's see if we can get the straight.
Fucked it straight away.
It's not even. Right. Who is this? 34. Who's that? Slavikovsky? Fired. Alright. Everyone else can do it. Look at this. This is pretty good. Right, I will count this as a straight line. Don't let me down, Lizelle.
Oh.
That's straight. Oh, for the love of Jesus.
Yeah.
Sarah, right. Okay. But he's done that on purpose. That has to have done on purpose.
Done that on purpose.
What is this?
Oh,
Who is that? Tudor?
Yep,
I've got to
that's
back
Tudor.
up. My bad.
Yep,
Oops,
yep.
I made a boo-boo.
I think is he in the correct position? I don't even care. Leave that to the stewards.
He's in the right position.
I didn't think you could reverse on the formation lap. I thought you got DQ'd if you did that.
I think you can do it up to a certain amount, but
Ah, fair enough.
I
I was always so scared to reverse.
yeah, same.
yeah.
I am severely disappointed in the I'm gonna call it straight line attempt, because that was shocking.
Oh, absolutely. Robert in chat, EU loves a queue. Well, us Brits love a queue as well. Nothing more
Yeah.
we enjoy in life than a good queue.
Yeah. Oh, I see a line. Let me just go and join the back of it. No idea what it's for, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Where I used to work, they had like we used to have something called a pavilion, and all the time there'd be like events there, like loads of different like makeup and other sort of things like that. The queues would be enormous, and you'd never know what you're queuing for. You'd just be in the queue, get to the front, and you find out it's like toothpaste or something. Oh, cool. I've just waited all that time for a very tiny little tester tube of toothpaste.
That's the most British thing I think I've ever heard.
Oh, and it really is.
That sounds like a you problem.
I never queued up. I'm not daft. You think I'm patient enough to sit in the queue
I
like
want
that?
to see
for
your collection of tiny,
toothpaste?
tiny toothpaste tubes that you got given in the pavilion.
I've got rid of all of them. I used all of them.
So see, you did queue.
No, you see, what you do is you get somebody else to queue for you, and then they bring you a queue back as well.
What did you do? Did you just be like, here, did you see that line? And they're like, oh, line, let me go check it out.
British people just, like we said, see a line and join it. So if one gets pointed out to them, it's like a natural impulse to just go and, oh, I've got to go and stand at the back of it and feel like I'm part of this.
To be honest, I've done that a few times, and I realised that I was in the queue for the abattoir, and I was like, I probably shouldn't have checked.
Well, looking back to the racing, boys.
I don't know what you mean.
We're off on a tangent. So, are we going to make it through turn one this time? Who's going to be the aggressor? Who's going to make the move?
Right's going to be an aggressor. I can feel it. Feel it in my toes.
I'm going for full send into turn one.
I'm thinking Slowakowski might go to make up for his little incident at the end of the last race. Dropped a bit of time, so I think he's going to make up for it in this full send on Friedrichsen right at the start.
And death. I'm calling death T1 this lap. 100%.
I think the guys sort of further up have less to lose. I know when I was in this position where you sort of at the back of your mid pack starting on race 2, you want to be so careful because you've got the points from race 1, like looking at Pierce, Hussein, Suredi. These guys want to be careful going into T1 because you don't want to compromise your second race. You've got the points from the first in the bag, but you need to get the points from the third. Look how much Friedrichsen is he's already early.
This is that looks like another penalty for Slowakowski.
Wow.
Like that's twice he's done this.
Maybe
Like,
for Friedrichsen there. I don't know. You've definitely got the whole shot for turn 1.
Oh, big send. Who's that?
On the inside. He's onto the
wide.
grass.
We were right. Big boy send.
But they've made it through. Touch wood. I'm not going to curse
So
it.
far.
They've made it through.
I'm calling death still. There's got to be death somewhere. I mean, Joe Wright has actually done a fantastic...
Oh,
Has the server died?
I think we've
back.
had a...
we're
Yeah,
back.
there we're
Oh,
technical
back.
issue.
I
Well,
have seen
Wright's
a bit
holding
of
it.
context at the back.
we've
Pierce is off.
Pierce has gone round, and also I think Suredi may have gone round as well. But it seemed like the server just lagged out, and for some reason when we came back, they were all half spun. It was bizarre. And
I'm
then some
so
of them
glad
got
it wasn't my
going, some of
internet
them
though. That'd have been heartbreaking if it was my internet again.
didn't. But there goes Friedrichsen ahead already. He's held off Sosowski now, so he can really focus on. Now he needs to be drilling in these good laps. Now he needs to be sitting.
Oh.
There's a touch on the
Oh
front
no.
there.
Oh, Holzer touched the back of right there. Just a bit of concertina effect.
Yep, right. Tries to cut the track a little bit to regain his positions, but
And
still
Nathan
going to end up
Pierce,
this one.
I just want to say, Nathan Pierce got through there. Brilliant. I've just watched it. Just watched it click back onto him. And he was up the inside of everyone, managed to keep his nose clean. That's really, really good heads-up driving from him, getting through that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I'm saying though, he's on an absolute charge.
Yeah, up to, it's at P5 already.
P5,
Yeah, he's doing a really, really good job, and he's got Suredi behind him. Is that Lozelle in front of him, I think, as well? Yeah, Lozelle P4 already. He's doing a great job. These guys are really capitalised.
You're right. The contrast between race 1 and race 2, I mean, it's early days, we're literally only 2 minutes in, and honestly, when he touched the grass there, I thought I'd done it. I thought I'd killed him. I'm glad I didn't, because that would have been horrific, but I mean, the fact that he's touched that grass there is going to play with your mind a little bit and start to make those mistakes that will start to happen more frequently. But P1, P2 have taken off. They've decided that they've gone into another country altogether. Matt Lazelle trying to stick it around the outside. No, he's not pulling this off, is he? No, he's not. That's good. Joe Wright will keep himself ahead just slightly, but that almost happened.
But is this going to open the door for Hussein now? Is Lazelle going to be slow on the exit? Yeah,
Oh!
Hussein sending it. Oh, but he keeps it clean. Just surviving it so far. Can he get the drive on the exit? Because the Aston's going to bog there. He's going to go cut it back. Oh, he's got to get the drive done. Yeah, I think he has. He's got enough. Yep. Yeah. Hussein takes it. That was a lovely little move there. Nice and clean. And capitalised off Lazelle just attacking right and just getting caught up.
Yeah, that all stemmed from the turn 1 there, which, you know, in a lot of ways it's a lot like turn 1 in Hungary. Just the way it flows, and you know, you can never really go around the outside there, and it's proved that, you know, all it done was cost him time, and that's allowed the McLaren to get through. So yeah, well done from Hussein.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the top 2 have taken off. We're looking at a 3-second gap back to right. Now, what Hussein's got to do is focus on right now. He's got to clear. Oh, there's a Honda off in the background there. Not sure who that was. There's number 24 car.
Wagner.
That's Wagner. It looked like he either got a touch or he lost it coming through those Shumiasses. But yeah, again, those Shumiasses claiming more victims. They're so difficult to get right lap after lap.
We've got a replay up here. Let's find out. Oh, yeah. Do you remember earlier when I was saying there's so many ways you can die in the Shumiasses? Well, that was one of them. You clip that inside curve a bit too hard, get it onto more of the center of your car, and you can find yourself dead and buried in a wall like he's just done. So he is suffering.
Hussein's going for a move on right here with Lazelle joining it.
I'm amazed how quickly he caught up to the back of right. He's just on him half a lap and he's there. He's pressuring him. Now, again, this comes back to the thing of he's got to still think about Lazelle behind him. He's got to be patient here. He's got to set, you know, there's a long race. It is 40 minutes. I mean, you know, we say it's a sprint race, but it is in all team, you know, you've got a lot of laps to wind down. You just need to be patient here. But you've got to think about the guys behind you as well.
Yep, and you're just having a look at the gap there. He did manage to bring that down quite substantially. He was 4/10 faster than right this lap, and you know, he has been battling as well this lap. So he's definitely got a lot of pace in this car that he's not able to show yet, as he's stuck behind these other drivers. But I don't think it will take him too long to dispatch right with the rate that he's going.
Well, he's going to want to clear them, and then hopefully have them as like a little buffer, so he can try bridge the gap to the front 2. And hopefully, like the likes of Lazelle, gets stuck a little bit behind right for a couple of laps. It allows Hussein to build a little bit of a comfort margin. As he's looking all over the back. He's got to be mindful that Lazelle could pounce on any of these things if he makes a mistake. But equally, he's got parts right behind him. This is a very close group. The Shumias is going to cause any carnage. Lazelle hits the gravel. And Parts, is he going to get the run on the exit? He's going to try, maybe for the outside. No, he thinks better of it. But it's still very close. Lazelle holding the inside line.
And yeah, I'm just looking at the battle up ahead as well, James. The battle for P1. Slosowski's closed right up. He's 3/10 off Friedrichsen now. Friedrichsen's really got to do some defending now, but he doesn't want to lose time to the guys behind. He's got a 4-second gap to right behind him. Now, you've got to play the long game here. You know, is it worth defending? You know, you've got to try and work together, try and keep that gap that you've built. You know, is it worth defending? Is it worth losing all that time and potentially going down even more places?
Yeah, they've already lost about a second from, like, you know, there's fighting going on behind them, but they're fighting a little bit faster than the fights up in front. So they've lost a second just from Slowakowski getting a little bit closer. So they'll need to be mindful of that.
Watching Nathan Pearce and Schultz having a little bit of side-by-side going in towards turn 1. This should have the braking difference. It almost goes into the back of Salikans as well, but keeps himself clear. No contact between the two. But a little bit of a wide line there from the Mercedes. Should allow Pearce to get down the inside. And I mean, there you go. Look at that. Literally like poetry. Straight in, straight out. Oh, very nearly contact as well between the Mercedes and the Honda, but we're clean. Nobody's dead. We've also got Joe Wright. Yeah, Joe Wright's getting done.
Yep, he's a really smart move there from Hussein as he's went round the outside to try and reclaim the inside here, and now he looks like he'll have to go around the long way again, but he's just outbraked himself a little bit, and that's just allowed Joe Wright off the hook there, but Lizelle looked like he was wanting to get involved, and so did Parties behind. So, you know, every one of these drivers is all fighting for the same bit of tarmac right now.
Just want to say as well, Soretti actually made it past Max Trainer in front of Pierce, so he's now going to be wanting to latch in onto the back of this battle as well for what is an intense P4, P3.
And I'd normally say teammates, but anything goes in these finals. You do not have teammates in these finals.
Yeah.
No one is going to be giving each other an inch. I just want to go back to when you were talking about the Porsche there. When I first joined this, and this, being honest, this was one of my first ever experiences in the Porsche joining this championship. I was amazed at how good it is on the brakes, how late you can brake. I mean, it may not have the top speed, but you know, you're going to lose it on the top speed, but what you can gain back in braking. Oh, as Parties, he looks up the inside of Lizelle, backs out of it smartly, but then Soretti is going to be right on the back bumper, so yeah, he's got to look out. But yeah, the Porsche was so amazing on the brakes. It's not got it in the straight line, but it makes up for that when you get on the brake.
True. Lizelle showing he does still have pace, does still have consistency, at least so far, but you know, again, last race was a 20-minute race. This is a 40-minute race, and we're only 9 almost, well, 8 and a bit into
Just want to say,
one.
Pierce is just going for a move on Max Trainer as well. To hopefully he has successfully done that on the inside with Wagner very close to Shellikins as well.
Yeah,
so that can bring Pierce up into that group.
Yeah, and Tudor's catching up to them. He's latching onto the back of that train as well. Shellikins, he's late on the brakes. He's looking all over the front of Max Trainer. But yeah, this is just going to turn into a domino effect. This is just going to, as soon as someone breaks line, it's going to slow the whole of them up. And look how much of a gap that Pierce has pulled out already on those. He's going after Soretti, and he's going after him fast.
Contact there between Hussein and Wright, just as they were getting into that right-hander there. I think Hussein just kind of turned on a little bit early, you know, as he was still behind Wright, and Wright ran out a little bit, didn't quite hit the apex, and that was all it took. Just a little bit of wheel banging. This fight's still going on. You can see Hussein's definitely got all sorts of pace. If he does manage to get in front, I don't think it will be too big an ask for him to disappear into the distance, but here it looks like he might try and make the move again. Up, going round the outside, he's, you know, Wright is placing the car so well.
Oh, right loose. He snapped it.
He snapped, and that's just 11.
Well touched. Lizelle's going to capitalise.
Oh, what a drive!
Yeah,
that's, you know, just one slight mistake there from Wright, and that's just domino effect. And look at the run Lizelle's got here. So Hussein is going to have to defend this, but yeah, he's now secured this position. And as we say, it looks like he's got so much pace in that car. So I expect, you know, by the end of the next lap, he'll have a good gap. As we see car number 43, Schultz, they've had a coming together with Shellikins.
Let's have a replay. Let's see exactly what happened. There's a three-way battle. Mercedes leading, Honda in the middle, and BMW at the back. You can see the Beamer closing very quickly, looking to get alongside the Honda. Honda goes late on the brakes, trying to be a little bit later, and a domino effect, and they go side by side. And Noah's Ark was not big enough for them to keep it together, and that is why you can see them having a bit of a problem, shall we call it?
Yeah, 3 doesn't go into 1 there, really. It's not the part of the track you want to be trying that at. Just watching as well, Soretti, Parts, and Pierce have all bunched up now around the back of Wright. This could be fireworks as well now in this battle, because these guys really want to get through now they know that Hussein and Lizelle have been released. These two need to really be catching back up and trying to close the gap down.
And look at Hussein. Look how much he's closing on these front two. And Lizelle, I mean, credit to Lizelle, he's catching up. You know, he's latching onto the back, shall I say. But yeah, these guys are losing so much time now. And this is what I've got to say. You've got to be so patient here. And Hussein knows he has a really good chance of winning this race. He just needs to try and force them into a mistake, build the pressure up, make moves, stick your nose in, and just, you know, it's all about mind games, as you like to say, Raggy. It's all about the mind games. Oh, as we got a Porsche round.
Wrong.
Yikes. Yeah, Pierce was very close to the back there of Parties. Got a little bit too much curb, and Spinella, he is now buried in there. Why? He's recovered. Oh, rejoin. No, it's fine. We're all right. No panic. We're okay. But we're still going, yeah. So Fredriksson actually is still fighting with Slavikovsky, who has actually proven the pace seems to be pretty good today. Well, sorry, race 2 seems to be pretty good. These reverse grids really switch things up, but you can never rule out Hussein here in this circumstance. His pace is already phenomenal. He did a really good job in race 1. Coming into race 2, he's already showing what he needs to do in order to recover the extra points he could have got from race 1. And right now, I don't want to call it early, but providing he doesn't have any major collision with the 2 cars ahead of him, I'm putting him down for a P1.
I'm going to call it early because he was 2.3 seconds faster than the guys in front of him that lap.
I am
And he
still
was
going to
1.2
edge my bets for
seconds faster.
Lozelle. I'm edging the bets for Lozelle. He was 2/10 quicker than Hussein when they were both in free air that last lap as well. So Lozelle's got some pace in that Aston.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely does.
55.3 to a 55.5. I mean, you're looking at 57.8s and 57.9s for the front two. We are going to have a monumental battle for the lead right now because Fredrickson, I mean, he's been leading, what, 13 minutes now in the lead? He's not going to want to give this up. He is going to defend for his life. And so is Slowskowski because he knows what's on the line as well. He's not going to give up that P2. Hussein's going to have to either stick his nose somewhere where he's not welcome or he's going to have to drive it right around the outside of somewhere, which is difficult to do here.
All right, James, I need your expert advice here. You're in Hussein's position. You know you've got 27 minutes to go out of this race, right? You know your pace is much faster than the 2 cars ahead of you. Where are you lining up an overtake?
Well,
and why is it T1?
The McLaren, it's going to be really difficult for T1. That BMW power. I was just about to say I'd be waiting for the mistake, just pressurizing, and here it's come. That'll literally be it. He's got a bit of a better chance now for the Audi because the Audi's still got good straight line, but the McLaren can live with it a little bit more. But the BMW and McLaren, you'll know as well, then the McLaren's not going to win in that battle.
No, not unless you want to get sent to another country at least. Almost sent into the back of the Audi again. I can see a 5-second penalty has been applied to Joe Wright. Not sure what that's for, but based on what the other one was
Lozelle goes for a move on Slowskowski. He stuck his nose in there. Slowskowski cut the door, but he was alongside, so a little bit of contact made between those two. And now look at Soretti. Soretti's on the back of Lozelle now, so it's become a 5-way fight for the lead now. Here comes Hussein Nelly around the outside of Fredrickson. Fredrickson's going to go defensive into turn 1. He's going to try and get late on the brakes.
Oh,
Hussein goes for a
my.
comeback and Nelly gets taken out by the Beamer.
That was
What
inch
a battle.
perfect.
Oh, they've still got all this
Hussein around
touch.
the outside, his contact there.
That was
wide. Slowskowski, is he going to go for it? No, I think he knows there's a bit of a pace difference between him and Hussein, but Fredrickson's wide. I don't think Hussein's going to be able to hang it around the outside of this corner. Fredrickson's going to get the drive, but look at that Beamer. He's still there. He's still there, and here comes Soretti down the outside of Lozelle. This is a fantastic battle.
the thing is, we've got 25.5 minutes to go of this race, and we're seeing this already. I don't think I have anywhere near enough voice box to do this, and then another race straight afterwards, but we are going to do it regardless. Yeah, Seredy showing what he's going to do to Lozelle in no time, getting alongside of him already, coming into the heavy braking zone, almost clips him. But he actually might get a cutback here, because I think Lozelle's gone a little bit deep. No, he's all right, never mind. He's keeping it together. Yeah, this fight for the race lead is so spicy.
Yeah, I mean, he did well to actually not lose it there, Seredy, dipping a wheel on the grass, under braking as well. He did the right call of backing out of it. Just as we look, as Hussein's weaving all over the back of Fredrickson. Is he going to... Oh, no! He took too much curve in his spin.
I think that was actually contact from Slowakowski. I think they made contact.
Let's have a look.
Yes,
we need another look at that. I think it was very close.
Just while you're doing the replay, Slowakowski is on getting overtaken by Lozelle or attempting to.
Oh no, it was curb.
No,
it was curb.
Yeah.
No, it was contact.
No.
It was 100% contact.
Slowakowski's in the wall. Slowakowski's in the wall.
Yeah, him and Lozelle battling into the entrance of the last chicane.
Oh.
But yes,
and this is exactly what happened.
100% it was contact. I've got the instant right in front of me. 93 into car 34. So, yeah, definitely was contact.
We have a drag race currently on the field at the minute. Lozelle and Seredy going in towards T1. It looks like Lozelle has broke later, but he's gone very deep, and Seredy is through this touch. That was, it was definitely not intentional. I think it will probably not even need the steward's touch on that one, but Seredy is through. Was a very late break in the T1 from Lozelle. I mean, Badger, you'll know yourself. We've seen him break very late on a fair few corners in previous races. That was a bit too much.
It was a little bit, and it's one of these things where he clearly feels confident in it, but, you've still got to be aware of the drivers in front, and, he's got a big long nose there, so he's trying to stick it in places that it makes other drivers uncomfortable, but realistically that was a little bit too much.
He's going for a move here on Max Trainer, Hussein. He's going to dive it down the inside, going into turn 8, into the Dunlop curve. He's going to get through. That was a great move. I'm just looking at his car. It doesn't seem to be damaged, so providing he's got no damage, you know, he's only just behind Max Trainer now, and then you've got Wright and Parties up ahead of them, but he's only a couple of places behind us. He's still in this. If he's got no damage, and the pace he's been showing, he is still in this, so it's not all over for him yet.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at the lap times, right? Last lap for the top two, 58.7, 58.9, and then P3, 59.2, etc., etc. So based on what we saw already from Hussein, he was already doing like mid 55s, and you know that's literally multiple seconds per lap faster than all of the cars ahead of him. So we'll keep an eye on him and see on how his run goes throughout this race. I'm pretty confident. I'm still calling him. He's still got 22 minutes to bring it back.
Well, but Soretti is very close to Friedrichsen now. I don't know if he's going to be able to. If Soretti gets past Friedrichsen quickly and gets that free air, then I think it's going to be very difficult for Hussein. But if Friedrichsen, and I have to give him big credit here, as I said, he's not very well at the moment, and he's held off this constant barrage of attacks for what is it now, nearly 20 minutes. It's a stellar drive. Can he hold on to the end? I'm kind of got to edge that Soretti. He's going to elbow his way through, find that little bit of a gap, and just squeeze it open. He's been good at doing that so far, but this has been like someone's taken some British touring car pills. Their elbows are definitely out. Yeah, it's a frantic 40-minute race.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not even been just the 20 minutes of this race that he's been defending, because he was defending for pretty much the entirety of the last race as well. He's been absolutely on it. Like, it's been so difficult for anyone to get by him. He's placing that car so well, and you know, he must have felt that the heavens parted and just slapped his opposition away in the last couple of laps.
We've got Wright off, right, and Hussein again. Hussein, he's got damage this time though, I think. Yeah, Wright and Hussein. I'm not sure what happened. We might need to get a replay on that. I just switched back to them. They were both off into the wall.
We've got the replay now. Through the Dunlop curve, sorry. Wright is ahead. Oh dear.
No, that's not. Yeah,
it looks like a mixture.
He just got loose. Yeah, I think Wright just got
loose.
That rejoin. My word.
Yeah, I think that was just a case of Wright getting a little bit loose, and you know, again with the Ferrari, it's difficult to say once it goes, it goes. Here we go, we've got a battle for the lead. Friedrichsen again. I was going to say I wouldn't want to do this feeling well. Never mind feeling unwell. He's doing a brilliant job holding them off.
This is fantastic. Who'd have thought we'd be seeing race 2, top 4 fight like this, and there's still people that are well within a shot of going for it, you know?
Oh, it's anyone's game right now. I couldn't put a bet on. I just couldn't. As Parts goes to the inside of Lizelle. Doesn't make it stick. Lizelle just manages to hold it out. They're going to end up tripping up over each other. They kind of need to have a little bit of a discussion and think, right, do we work together and just try and get a little bit quicker ahead? Because this is only damaging each other right now. As we said earlier, if you're in that middle gap of a group like this, you're having to look for the position, but equally not lose too much on the exit. It's crazy, but that has given Soretti a little bit of comfort room to be able to go and now attack Friedrichsen because of that incident, just with Lizelle and Parts. But I don't think he's been able to capitalize on it, as Lizelle's already hooked back up to the back end of him. Yeah,
to be honest, if I was Friedrichsen, I would want to be, you know, being as slow as possible while still being defensive, because, like, if you back up Seredy into Lizelle, they're going to be fighting, and that's going to give you a little bit of breathing room. So, you know, he doesn't want a gap to form, because if a gap forms and Seredy can attack him freely, as he's doing right now, will he be able to hold this into the braking zone? Seredy's trying to go around the outside. Friedrichsen placing that car perfectly once again, and Seredy going off the track a little bit. Friedrichsen keeps the lead.
Oh,
this is what he doesn't want.
Absolute move to keep in the lead. That was brilliant defensive driving there by Friedrichsen. He got a little bit wrong coming out the Schumi S's, but he knew what to do. He knew exactly where to place the car just to get Seredy to go wide. I was just going to say before, I'm getting Abu Dhabi 2016. Was it Hamilton and Rosberg?
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult to pass here. I'm getting very much vibes. If Friedrichsen just holds him up, he could still be in with the shout. But Soretti, really good launch off the final corner. He's going to look to the inside. Friedrichsen's going to run him all the way down nearly to the pit wall. He's going to pull back to the left here. Soretti's going to keep his nose. He's going to fake it, go to the outside, try and get late on the brakes. Friedrichsen's on the inside. He's going to run wide though. Soretti's going to go for the cutback here. I don't think he's going to be able to do it just because he's going to have to go around the long way around Tenta. There we go.
Lizelle.
Here comes Lizelle up the inside.
Oh my God, he's going for it. There's no, he's going to take both. He thought about it. He definitely thought about it. And if I'll tell you something now, if Friedrichsen even goes slightly astray, Lizelle's sending. He's the guy you can rely on to look at a gap of opportunity and absolutely nail it. And to think that Seredy was fighting for a P1 a second ago and suddenly he's scrapping and potentially going to lose a P3 into a P4, like, this just shows what we're seeing here tonight, and it is mental.
I feel like I've trained him well in the Aston ways, because that was a dive bomb of perfection. That's how you overtake with the Aston. You've got to wait for someone just to have that little bit and just fully commit, and he got that perfect on the brakes.
Yeah, and this is honestly like, this is what Friedrichsen would have wanted to be happen. Seredy and Lizelle fighting. What he probably didn't want to happen is Lizelle to get past, because as we've seen, Lizelle is doing some very, very late brakes, so that makes it much more difficult if you're Friedrichsen. So he's probably going to want to hope that he can make Seredy now attack Lizelle once again, because the more they're fighting behind, the easier it is for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And to go back to another famous phrase, where did he come from? You know, he was we were saying about how he'd lost some time, and here actually comes Parties on the back of Seredy. You know, he looks like he's kind of, I don't know whether he's driving a bit too aggressively or he's starting to lose it now, but he's starting to drop back from Lizelle a little bit here. He just needs to get the composure back to get back into, you know, we've still got 16 minutes to go here. Still got 16. His Parties nearly drives it right down the inside of his teammate there. But as I said, yeah, we've got 16 minutes still to go here, so we've still got a bit of time. You've just got to try and get back into that rhythm. When you're battling like this, you know, your rhythm is so disturbed. It's a case of trying to be as late on the brakes, as aggressive as you can into each corner. And as soon as you start to lose it, you can just lose it for the rest of the race. You've got to really try and focus getting back on that rhythm and back onto the back of that Aston.
I mean, the thing is, Hussein's closing in. Like, the more that these fights continue, Hussein's closing in. Let's look at last laps. Race leader, 58.3. P2, Lizelle, 58.0. 59.0 for Seredy, 58.7 for Parties, and then Hussein, 55.6. He is incredibly closing this gap down. You know, he's going to be right on the back of Parties in no time at all, as Seredy having a little bit of a... Well, he scared him. He actually scared him off the line there. So much, in fact, he's gone on the grass. He's through. Both Nissans are through. Lizelle was P2. He's now P4. That just shows how one tiny mistake... Exactly. It was mind games. He put his big chungus in the rearview mirrors of that Aston, and he panicked. And off he went onto the to the grass. And we're still going.
They're so big. They're horrible to have in a rear view mirror.
It's true.
Like, I honestly think you're cruel for running it in the endurance race.
No.
I just want to bring attention just as well to Pierce has just overtaken Wright. And as much as you're saying with them backing it up for Hussein to come in, it's not too far for Pierce to come back into this. He's only about 4 seconds shy, really 4 to 5 seconds shy of the back of that group. If they still keep getting stuck behind Friedrichsen and he keeps that defensive game going. This could be an absolute masterstroke from him if he can do this, because all these fast guys are going to really trip up over each other.
Yep, Hussein right now is only 2.3 seconds off the lead of this race, and he's lapping 2 seconds a lap faster. So realistically speaking, he could be leading in a lap's time. You know, obviously still got lots of people to get through.
Oh no, Seredy! No,
Seredy
not like this! Not like this! That is not the way, and he's reversed. Well, I say reversed, as he went through rotation, he ended up collecting cars as well. We'll have a quick replay of that. So.
And here's Holzer into P3. Where did he come from?
Well, look at this. So Seredy going for a send down the inside of Friedrichsen into the final corner. It was quite tight. I think the space was there. But yeah, just unfortunately, he's just rolling backwards into Lizelle and McFriedlich. Sorry, Hussein, not McFriedlich. Yeah, and McFriedlich, who Christoph Holzer does actually slip through up into P3. Does have his teammate on the back of him, and despite the fact that, you know, Hussein has actually been in the walls today, he's on a podium right now. His teammate's just letting him through.
Well, that's just played perfectly into the hands of Hussein, and with Holzer. I think that's a big brain teammate move. He said there are no teammates, but he's got the 10-second penalty. There's no point in him holding up his McLaren teammate. They've worked together in the other championship, so he's just moved aside, I think, and let him go. And this really sets Hussein up now for a really big chance to just absolutely salvage what was going to be a bit of a lost cause. This is a hell of a drive back.
Yep, and you know, he did lose a lot of time when he kind of got caught up in that incident, so he is still... He dropped to about 5 seconds or so off the lead, but he's now already caught back up another second. So 4 seconds now, back from P1, just 13 minutes to go. I think he's got this.
Yeah, and you can't forget he has got a bit of damage. I can see a bit of damage on the front end. You know, he was when Wright did lose it. He did collect him, and Hussein did go into the wall. But saying that, it just means he's going to have to be maybe a bit more creative, just a little bit running a little bit wide there, coming out of turn 12. But if he hasn't got the speed on the straight, he's going to have to use the Porsche tactic, which is no speed on the straight, late on the brakes, dive bombing down the inside.
Yeah. So Parties had a little look on Fredriksson. It didn't work out. He's still got plenty of opportunity to bring it back. I mean, the Audi is not bad on the brakes, right? It's got pretty good stopping power. It does require you to be pretty smart with it, though, because it does like to get a bit tail happy if you do take the brakes just slightly wrong, as I found out in my race not that long ago. Saying that, Parties went super deep there. He's going to lose a little bit of time here to Fredriksson, even. And yeah, even the battle here for P4 onwards is starting to heat up once more. Nathan Pierce, who was right at the back of the grid, if you remember, he actually had a spinale like the first 5-10 minutes. He's actually bringing himself right back in this. Yeah,
and as well, the two Ferraris both together on track and both fighting very hard with each other. Max Trainer and Joe Wright really going at it. Max Trainer's done really well to bring himself back up as well with this. As Wright makes a mistake and Trainer has got that's P7, and it's also going to allow the BMW of Slowakowski through as well, as Wright just gets a bit too wide on the exit. A little bit of grass just slows him up. Is he going to fight back? He's going to have to look for the exit now down to the hairpin. Don't know if he's going to be able to hold it against that BMW, though. It depends on the brakes. The Ferrari is good on the brakes, but it's going to have to be a send. No, he's not going to be able to make it. He's thought better of it. But yeah, I was saying earlier that Pierce could be in there, and this incident has brought him right up and now is right on the back of Lazelle. I think these two need to really work together and try and move further forward. They both know that they have the pace from the first race, so you need to play a little bit of games. You've only got 10 minutes. You can't afford to be losing it right now. You've got to maximize your points. Just try to get as far up as possible together now.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, we've had, you know, so many people who have been so fast in this race. You've had Pierce, Lazelle, Hussein. All of them have been caught up in instants. Even Wright, you know, he was running pretty well for a bit, and everybody's just been caught up in an instant, went back down the order, having to fight back through. But they've got such good pace, and now it's just completely mixing up the grid. But you see here, Hussein now only 1.3 seconds off the back of this fight, and Parties is now attempting to make a move on Fredriksson, so this is going to slow them both up as Fredriksson's having to defend, and this is just inviting Hussein in. As you can see, he's so late on the brakes, and he's now right onto the back of this fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and Fredriksson again very defensive, really good lines, just knew exactly where to put the car, so that Parties could have a look, but he couldn't do anything about it. Now, as you say, here comes Hussein, he's close. Oh, Fredriksson wide, he's gonna still have the inside. Can the dance sweep around the outside? What a fantastic opportunist move there. Here comes Hussein as well up to the outside. That was a brilliant move by Parties. Can Hussein hold it around the outside of this left hand? Oh, there's a contact. And yeah, well, that means Hussein's through. That was so sketchy.
What?
But yeah, Fredriksson's lost out now. Now he's back down in P3. He probably knows that he may not have the pace to get back up there, but he's just going to try and hold on to the back, try and learn maybe some of the lines that they're running, and just try and learn as much as he can. He does go a little bit wide there, but he's just got to try and get his head back in the game, get back into that rhythm, and try and hold on to the back of the front two.
I just want to point out, Hussein has been hit more times than I can count, and he's P2, looking at a potential win still. Talk about resilience, not just of the car, but also of the mental fortitude you need in order to actually demonstrate this power on the track. Fair play to him. Absolutely never laid himself down and just took it. He's got back on it again, immediately carried on pushing the pace. He knows he's the fastest guy on the track right now. And you know what? Fair play to him. Let him carry on. I want to see more of this.
Oh, his car must look like the Frankenstein car from Death Race, surely, if you get close to that. But he's shown that all season. I've noticed in the races that we've had, he's had some tangles and some incidents, but never once has he shied away from it. He's picked himself up, dusted himself down, and I've just seen his name coming up and up and up in the timetables. Just thinking he's hunting and he is working back. I mean, the mental resilience of him has shown strong all season long, really, I think. He's done himself really proud. He can be really proud of himself just on that front alone, let alone his insane pace that he's carrying.
You know, I've been thinking about Death Race non-stop for the last, like, month and a half, and I've not watched it again recently. But now that you've mentioned it, I'm going to take that as a sign from God. I need to watch that tomorrow.
Look at this little P3 fight we got going on here. I mean, yeah, Christoph also does have a 10-second penalty, so realistically, he's not in this fight other than physically. You've got Nathan Pierce, who is phenomenally quick right now.
Yeah, he's got past Lazelle as well. Lazelle seems to have made a mistake maybe somewhere and dropped off the back of that pack. More than likely, he will have the pace to close back up. But yeah, Nathan Pierce has been absolutely on it this race. He's kind of been a bit the same as Hussein. He's been bashed about here and there, but he's just kept his foot down, kept his head in the game, and looking at him, he's P5 fighting for a podium.
Well, we continue on. Nathan Pierce flinging to the back of Christoph Holzer, who's just made a boo-boo. That's a snap. And oh my word, he's through. He's got himself right there. Is he going to get a two-foot? There's no way. He's not getting a two-foot. It's not happening.
He might.
No, I refuse to believe it. I'm sorry, Nathan.
Christoph Holzer's testicles were in his throat right there.
We love your analogies here.
Only the Scots can pull that off.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's going for it here. Nathan Pierce, are you going to send it? How big are your cojones? Not big enough.
They'll be too big to fit in the Porsche if he sends it down there, surely.
True.
That increased drag would help him slow the car down.
Porsche's already got all the power he needs. He doesn't need any more. But, I mean, he's got to go for it here, let's be honest, because look how close he is. Even with the low top speed that the Porsche has got, it's not really going to affect him too much on this home straight here. It's just going to be all about the late
I'm
braking.
looking at the gap, even in the drag, the Audi is pulling away from the Porsche. It was like me and James had a race around here the other day, and I was up the Aston. I was in the gearbox of the Aston, and he was still pulling away. It is definitely more difficult to work with the Porsche in regards to the straight line aspect. It's great through the corners, but it's quite difficult to overtake him because as soon as you get onto the straight, you just get pulled away.
So, Reece, how up the Aston is up the Aston?
Oh,
like,
I was inside the
deep are we
gearbox.
talking?
Couple of inches.
Within the rear wing.
I mean, I could not see headlights. I couldn't tell what car it was.
I just know I was being touched and it wasn't very nice.
You might be looking here.
The rear was vibrating.
Absolutely. But yeah, P1 and P2. So Hussein is still 6/10 off Party. I mean, Party has got good pace now. He's running in clearer. He was actually 4/10 quicker that lap than Hussein was. I know Hussein has got damage, so we will factor that into the equation. But I thought Hussein would stay on the back of him, but he's actually keeping pace quite nicely. There's still a 6/10 of a second gap there, and then we've got a 4-second gap back to this train. But Nathan Pierce has really got to try and think about getting past Friedrichsen now. He's really got to try and start making some moves, especially coming into the last 5 minutes. This is where it's all down to the wire.
I think you can see a lot of maybe last-ditch attempts, because Friedrichsen, I think I've got to give him a bit of my driver of the day vote, because how he's held these people behind him for so long, for the entirety of this race, he's had someone all over the back of him. And still, people haven't been able to find out the way to get him. Like Pierce right behind him, and Friedrichsen knew to break the toe. And I saw the gain he got out of it just by moving out of the not giving the Porsche the toe for a brief period. He's putting the car exactly where it needs to be. He knows he needs to get the drive on the exit, and it's causing all sorts of problems for everyone. As I say, it does go a bit deep though. Is he going to hold it? He should be okay there. Should be safe on the inside as long as he doesn't run too deep. Could allow Pierce a little bit of a dive down the inside. He does cover the inside, though. He's going to make him go a long way around.
Oh.
This will give him the inside if he can pull it off. If Pierce can stay committed, he does. Oh, that was a good squeeze. Is he going to try around the outside?
He's got to go for it here. He's got to keep in it here. There's no backing out, not with 3 minutes.
He's done it.
Done it. He's outbroke. What a fantastic move. Swept around the outside. That was a fantastic move. There's Lazelle looks on the back of Holzer there. But guys, I've just realised the time. We might have to get off for our own race.
Yes, yes. You do that. You enjoy.
I might have to love you and leave you. I mean, with 3 minutes to go, it's the last thing I want to do. I want to stay here and watch this, but yeah, we think it's about time we get going.
I'm glad you looked at the time. I was that drawn into this. I was not looking at the time.
Well, good luck in your races, boys. I'll make sure that I commentate as courtesy as hard as I possibly can. Ready for when you do it to me on Saturday.
Don't worry, I'm going to make the most.
Pleasure having you in the booth.
Oh,
Thank
pleasure
you
for you
very
guys
much.
having us as well. So, yeah, we'll see you on the track.
Yep, and I'll make the most unclean lineup you can ever see.
Please don't. just, oh man, you know what I mean? But yeah, 2 minutes 55 to go of this race. We do obviously have Party still leading. Actually, Hussein, he's doing a very good job of closing. Is he going to, oh, I thought he was going to go for a little cheeky little Senderino there, but no. He's going to hold on for now. I think he's buying his time. I think realistically, he knows every time I've gone for a send on anybody around me, I've always ended up getting properly tapped out. And I really don't want to lose a potential race win here. So, yes, the clock is against him. He does need to try and, get the move done soon. But, well, what have you seen?
Hussein nearly running right into the back of Parties. He missed his braking a little bit, and yeah, had to go a little bit wide into turn 1 just to not have the have his own chunga centre the back of the Parties.
Well, you definitely don't want to chungus up your backside, do you? I mean, we're talking about how as a Porsche having an Aston up, being up the back of an Aston is not very pleasant, but having a GTR as the leading car, yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that.
Yeah, but you're saying he's been driving so beautiful. He's been in the wars today, and yeah, he's dropped back a little bit now from Parties. But I think P2 he'll take that after the race that he's had. But it's not over yet. There is still a few minutes. He's still got potentially 2 laps or so that he could make a move stick.
Well, we are running out of time. 1 minute 19 to go. Hussein has lost a fair bit of gap to race leader, so he's going to have to really bring something together if he wants to take the big old Dubsky today. 1.3 is the current gap. I mean, you can just look at where they are. He is faster. And I think if you take the whole situation that Hussein has been put into in this race, the damage he's received, to still be able to keep the car together and still be on for a good solid P2, that in itself is admirable. I imagine now the car is going to be a fair bit undrivable. That front end has had a fair bit of damage. The understeer he's going to have is going to be catastrophic. But yeah, he was 6/10 slower that lap than Parties, and with a 1 second gap, it's going to require a big mistake from him ahead. Who is that? 305.
Fredrickson's off.
Williams is off as well. Fredrickson's getting passed by Slavikovsky, and I think Serity's going to go for it as well. He's going to be alongside and fully cleared. Yes, he is. That's actually now Fredrickson down to P8. He was doing so well in this race. A couple of mistakes. Starting to crack now in these closing stages.
Yeah, he's been absolutely on it this entire race, but effectively an hour-long defensive drive from him has now crumbled, and it's unfortunate to only walk away with a P7 after how beautifully he's driven, but there has been a few tiny cracks in the armour, and that's just enough now for people to capitalise and get past. And to be honest, again, a P7 when you're struggling with COVID, mate, my hat goes off to you. What an absolute tremendous effort you've put in today.
Yeah, I don't blame. I'm not disappointed in the slightest. I'm incredibly impressed with his strength of character to keep pushing, to still commit to racing. Just doing what he's doing. I'm very, very pleased.
Yep, he's definitely shown the world exactly who he is and what he's capable of and what he's willing to do. So yeah, I back up what James was saying. I really can't see anyone else other than Fredrickson for driver of the day. Just the heart and commitment and sheer skill that he's showcased today has been incredible.
Yeah. Parties did it all together, got himself a beautiful race win in race 2. Hard fought to say the least, and a big shout out to Hussein as well. And even Nathan Pierce, they both had the wars in this race. A big spinala from Nathan Pierce at the beginning of the race did not help him at all. Christoph also will cross the line P4, but that penalty will drop him. I think he only drops to P5 there, because I think Serity's just that bit too far back.
Serity's right on the cusp, so like depending on how he goes for this, the end there, he might just be within it. I think he was just without it, about 10.4 seconds, so nearly. So Christoph Holzer should only drop to P5.
Well, the rundown at the end of that race is Parties P1, Hussein P2, Nathan Pierce P3, Holzer P4, Lizelle P5, Serity P6, Fredrickson P7, Slavikovsky P8, Tudor P9, Joe Wright P10 with Trainer P11, Schultz P12, Schelikens P13, Williams 14th, Wagner in 15th place, and Viniecki in 16th place.
And we're just waiting for Wagner to cross the line there to confirm, but yeah, he'll be slotting in P15 there. So yeah, what a drive from these guys. You know, action every lap. That was insane.
And we're going to do it all over again, but this time with technically better drivers.
You said it, not me.
I said technically in that they're in the they're in the pro category, which you know is usually meaning that they are the better set of drivers, bunch of people, human beings, fans, crew,
better human beings. So now you're going off the rails.
Wow. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong. Please don't shoot me, people. Please. I'm just trying to be nice here. Alright, so we're gonna do the usual thing when it comes to race 2s. We have 5 minutes left of quali. Badger, have you got this?
I will confirm that the only reason Raggy keeps me in the booth is to talk shit while he goes and gets a drink. So I will do my dutiful duties, and yes, you may go and get a drink.
Thank you, BRB. We do want me to watch because no one's on track. Well, watch James Mead for when he makes some boo-boo.
Yes, watch James Mead. And then
why are they not going out, by the way?
This is still, I think, technically free. Oh wait, no, it's not free practice.
Yeah, we are late because of race 1. Or pro-am, should I say. They've made a pact, they've just gone, you know what?
Hey, random grid.
Yeah, we'll just see what happens.
If that's the case, I'm kind of upset that they never told us about this pact beforehand.
I think they may have only just found out, if that's the case.
Hey.
You know, the thing is, right, I want to point this out just real quick before I disappear. I know people will look at this and go, 10 drivers? Well, there's only 10 drivers. But the bit I want to point out is that these are the pros, right? These are some of the most incredible drivers that exist, not just in OOR, in general, right? They are... Oh, they've restarted quali. Okay, we are going again. Yeah, they were restarting quali so that it was live for us on the stream. Big Brain, thank you. I'm assuming stewards, I love you. And we have a safety car. The WAR car is here.
The WAR car?
Now you're on your own, bye.
Hi. Right, now that he's away, how are we going to destroy his stream? Yeah, we're having a look. Levchenko. I'm always so happy when I see Levchenko driving that big Chungus because that man knows how to defend and he's out there third at the moment. But, like, you know, if he puts it on pole, no one's getting by. He'll just defend in perpetuity. It'd be great to see. But yeah, we'll jump on with Mead as per Raggy's request. Have a little look and see. He's still in the pits, so he's clearly he knows something. He's like, you know what? If I go out in 30 seconds, he'll stick it on pole. But our other good friend from the commentary booth, Respend Schrob, he's going around just now, in his Porsche. And to be honest, I'm excited to see what he can do because I found out today that he uses Logitech G29 to do his racing on, and that blows my mind when you see how good he is. You know, he's got such a good feel for the car and got such good consistency. And to get that from a wheel that realistically doesn't give you any good feedback, it blows my mind. Just how quick and consistent he is. So we'll see what he's able to do on his flying lap. But let's go to the front of the pack. Chris Vining. He'll be coming through chicane just now and be the first one up. And as I was just bigging him up, Reece Spence Rob put it into the wall. So, you know, I'm going to just shut my mouth. I'm sorry, my friend. I will keep an eye off of you as your friend and co-commentator James Mead is now out onto the track as well. And taking a look, Chris Vining, he's the first to start his lap, driving the second big chungus of the evening, and to be honest, I'm actually quite excited to see what the Nissans can do. We've got let's have a look. We've got 2 Porsches, 2 Nissans, 2 Astons, a Honda, an Audi, a McLaren, Ferrari, and then the car of the Alpine, which hopefully we get to see driving around today, because it just looks so beautiful. I don't care what Raggy says, it looks beautiful. He's wrong in everything else he says. But yes, unfortunately they were not doing a no quali. That would have been really entertaining to see, I must say. Let's see, I'm going to look at some of the times at the moment, or would be if my timing sheets was updating. There we go. Chris Vining looks like he is actually on a pretty quick lap, but so is Bauer. So Bauer we've seen plenty of times throughout the season as well, just coming up with some incredible pace. So we'll want to keep an eye on him and see what he is able to do at the moment. He is looking like he is right now. Chris and Bauer look like they are on the fastest laps, but so is Adrian. Adrian's doing a pretty good lap though. He has just invalidated it, so I'll not mention that. But yes, well, I've already said he's invalidated it. But having a look after our good friend Jonas Hakala, he's also looking like he's on it right now. So these times look like they're all going to be pretty quick and quite up there. So we'll see as Chris Vining crosses the line with 54.4, which is a pretty damn good time. We've got for pole in the last race, it was a 54.1, I think. So we'll need to keep an eye on that. Levchenko, though, he's quite a bit off the pace. Bauer only 800ths off Chris Vining. Also, welcome back.
Thanks. Did you miss me?
Very much so.
Good. Correct answer. Well, hello Virtus, it's good to see you. Hello Beaker. Hello Tiger Racing. My boy Joe, how you doing? For those of you who aren't aware, there is going to be an endurance race this weekend on Saturday. The European... I mean, there's going to be endurance races pretty much the entire weekend, but the European one, this is the one we care about the most, you know what I'm saying? Not biased, but whatever. I'm actually going to be racing in on Saturday at 7 PM, so make sure you check it out on the Octane Online Racing channel. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up button, make sure you do so, because it's free of charge, doesn't cost you guys a thing, and it makes a massive difference for us guys. So if you did, I'd be firmly appreciative of it. Just go back to this qualifying session. Obviously, we were just talking to Reece, we were just talking to James, and these guys have got, you know, talent and pace. We finally get to see what these guys can do against each other, because they've been in different splits. You know, Jonty Hackler, for example, was somebody who was really fast in the first season, sorry, should I say, not the split. I couldn't get the word split out of my brain there for a second. And obviously now we're seeing, I've wanted to see them up against each other for ages, see just who fits where and how quick he actually really is.
Well, and now you get to find out. You get to see.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
And you just can't hide it.
Yeah. You know. I want you. I want you.
No, you're about to lose control when you think.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, Reece getting himself on provisional pole. Do still have 6 minutes to go, but 54.3 is the time we saw. And if he was telling us, oh, we might see a 53, was it 53.5 thereabouts? That's a banker he's done there.
53, sorry, not 52. But yeah, Jonas Hakala, 54 flat. I just wanted to bring up something though when you were away on your jollies. I was commentating on the fact that Respawn's Rob happens to drive with the G29, but it blows my mind how consistent and fast he is. He then put it straight into a wall. So, first commentator's curse of this split has been done.
Yeah, well, that's on you.
I mean, yes. I'm just letting you know so that you don't need to feel bad when you eventually bin one of them.
Well, who did I bin earlier? I bin someone earlier.
I mean,
I
can't remember.
I'm offended, Moritz. Hey, nerds. I'll have you know, I'm a super nerd. You better put the S word in front of that. Thank you, mate. But hello. It's good to see you too. Hey, I'm Friedlich. How you doing, buddy?
It's nerds? You put an S in front of it, the hey nerds. Is that what we're going for?
Well, I'll take that, yeah. I said the S word in front of it was what I said.
Oh.
Whatever.
I don't think that's what you said. I'll take it, though. I'll take it. Yeah, that's good by me. Also, just between races there, I also wanted to... You know when we were talking about Death Race in the last split?
Well, you were, but yeah.
Yeah, I did not realise this. But, because obviously, the Death Race movie that we were talking about, this is Jason Statham one. Not the original Death Race 2000s.
Yeah. Isn't that the one with, what's the face in it? Amber Heard?
I don't think Amber Heard was in it. Ian McShane's in it though, and that's what you need to know because you know Ian McShane's great. But I didn't know until literally googling it after the race there that there are actually 3 other films that like sequels to it. So obviously I'm not including the Death Race 2000 because that's a film from the 70s and no one cares about it. But there's a Death Race 2, a Death Race 3 Inferno, and then a Death Race Beyond Anarchy. Like, alright, cool. I mean, none of them have Jason Statham, so I don't think I'm really interested, but nice. Good attempt. Oh, actually, Danny Trejo's in the second one, so that'll be getting watched.
Well, we'll see. Yonsei, you beast! Oh, I love you, dude. Please keep going. So 54-0 is what Tim van Vestermael has put himself on provisional pole with. Yonsei, or Jonas Hackler, is 18 thousandths off of that lap time. That is nothing. That is absolutely nothing. Respawn's Rob, the alien, will be, it's a nice juicy P3. Chris Vining, P4, 3, almost 4 tenths away. Bauer, P5, who, you know, despite the fact he's in the Honda, is very, very, very quick. But he's usually the time trial merchant, remember. So, a bit concerning if he's P5.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying earlier, but Bauer, you know, we can normally rely on him to be really, really quick and really up there. But right now he's not really improving any, and he is on his, I think this is his 2nd or 3rd lap on this stint. So yeah, we'll see. He'll. I mean, I don't know if he'll how much he's been fueled for, so he might still be a little bit overweight, shall we say. But Chris Vining, he is improving by about 3 tenths, but that's not going to move him up any positions.
It's not. It's just big burn. That's all. 53.7. Reese. Ooh. Ah. What is that? 2.5 tenths ahead of Van Vestermael, who is not currently improving. Chris Vining's half a second up right now. As he crosses the line, he goes P2, so he's only 1.5 tenths away. This is going to be a juicy quality. We've got a minute and a half left, so we've got pretty much a final lap run at least from maybe even a couple of laps if you're near enough ending your lap already. This is going to be... I think Chris he's on his final lap, Chris. 189, which is Yonti. Might have enough time. I don't think he does, but he might have enough time to get another lap in if he's quick enough. But he's going to need... He's invalidated right now, so he's definitely not going to be improving on this lap. This is going to be juicy. So let's see. Respawn's Rob is actually a 10 faster than his already crazy speed. He might even get that 53.6.
Yep, he's definitely moving a little bit closer. It blows my mind that he's still getting faster. That's what's going on.
I was always going to go with Reese as my pole anyway, but it's 210's faster. How is he doing this? He's insane. I'm telling you, he's not from this planet. There's no way he's from this planet.
I mean, you did say you were going to try and work that out in the comms, and I didn't hear any questions about planet of origin. So this is on you that we don't know.
I think he's one of those. He's like a lizard person, you know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean. You mean like royalty?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he's royalty. That's what he is. My word. All right, well, Reese Rob cannot improve. He is P1, and he's going to stay there because Chris Vining is 4/10 slower than his previous best. He'll cross the line. He will not improve, and no one else currently is on a lap fast enough to be competitive to fight with that lap time. And the only person who's improving right now is Levchenko. He is 4/10 faster. Well, I mean, maybe he could pull off some sort of... No, well, he's already dropped to 3/10.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to be possible for him.
So, Ollie over. I'm going to ask you shortly, but I'm thinking about my own, and I already have no idea what this is going to be like.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Like, all right, I'm going to ask the chat first. Chat, tell me, now you've seen the quali results, who do you think is going to be 1, 2, and 3 after race 1? So again, reminder for those of you who just joined us. First of all, where have you been? All right, we got to address that one. Number 2, we have 2 races. You got race 1, which obviously is following the quali results. Then we have like a 5-minute break, which is what it's actually Q2, but there is no actual Q2. They just don't make any difference. And then we're going to race 2, which is a 40-minute race with the top 10 from race 1 being reverse gridded. So obviously, if you finished P1 at the end of race 1, you will be P10 at the start of race 2. So bear that in mind. But where do you picture this ending here? Reese P1, Chris Viner P2, Van Vestermel P3 as it sits. I just don't have a clue. I have no idea.
You know what? I think on out-and-out pace, I think Spence Rob has this. But I don't want to count out the other Porsche of Van Vestermel. Because he's shown incredible pace. And it would be... Honestly, it would be a madman to discount anyone in the top 6. Like, realistically, even top 7. Like, Mead's, like, any instant. And that's... Mead can capitalize on that. Levchenko, we've seen how great he is at defending. We've not seen him very much on the attack. But, I mean, if he could get in front of a few cars, then no one's going to get past him either. So, realistically, everyone in front of Levchenko, I think, could win this race because they'll be attacking and fighting. And everyone behind Levchenko, I'm sorry, but you're not moving forward.
Yeah, true. Yes. Actually, I've just had flashbacks to that particular race. Yeah, Levchenko in that Nissan, the biggest, widest car I've ever seen in my life. No one was getting past him. This guy is a defensive genius. So if, for whatever reason, Reese has a rubbish run in towards turn 1 and Chris gets ahead, Chris gets ahead or Levchenko can actually still get some places into turn 1, the GTR is just going to make it hell for you. I am ready for this. The pro race is on. Let's go, baby.
It's been a long time coming. We've wanted to see all these drivers go up against each other, and now we finally get the opportunity, and I'm excited.
I'm conflicted, though, because naturally I want to simp for Yonti, because it's Yonti. But I'm simping Reese. Don't tell him this. You know what? Delete the VOD! Delete the VOD! But...
I think if it depends. It depends. I will allow you to simp for Reese on one condition.
Go on.
If he lines up straight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we won't know until race 2. So we'll have to wait for that before I can confirm if I'm allowed to simp for him. So I've got a sim for Yonti for now. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. So Yonte for the 20-minute race,
Okay.
and then
I mean, I'm
we'll
fine
see
with this.
if Reese can earn your love.
I wonder if we're going to see the wire car next season.
Oh, I hope so. I hope
I
so.
don't.
It's so beautiful.
Look at it. It's disgusting.
It's beautiful.
Do you wear glasses?
I would own that car.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you would because it's a GT4.
No, I mean, like, I don't give a shit about the car. I mean, the paint job. I would own that paint job. I would put that on my own car.
You are disgusting. Can I point that out? What car do you drive in real life?
An Octavia VRS.
So, a Skoda Octavia with a purple base, yellow accent.
We've lost Jonty.
Oh, we haven't. It's P5.
No, he's not.
He's dropping. He's dead last.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, he can get back in his position. Don't worry. Hello, Potato Topato. I had 29 seconds of damage. Car 93 last race. I don't remember the car number. What was your name in the race? Are you Hussein? That race was intense. I'm so tired now. Hey, Win Race. How you doing? Problem is, I know you guys by your driver names. I don't know you by your... Excuse me.
I think 93 was Hussein. He was either
Thank you,
93 or
Virtus.
34. Yeah, Hussein. But yeah, Yonte has regained his position, so whatever moment of madness he had there has now been reverted.
I was Hussein. Yeah, there you go. See? Yeah, Hussein, can I just say, dude, if you go back and rewatch the comms on this, we gave you such a shout out because you got battered in that race and you still pulled off a phenomenal drive back. Well done, mate. Well bloody done. Well done, well done. Right, so first race of the Pro Finals. I know it says Yonti's P11, but he has resumed his position on the grid. Reese Spence Rob, your race leader, got himself a fantastic lap time in the quali. But even Chris Vining, the beast that is, with his air conditioning, couldn't touch him. And Van Vestermael.
Air cooling gives you an extra 0.2 a lap.
It's true. It's true. We need to go to Helicamp because we need to see how the run in towards T1 goes. I'm going to watch it from Chris Vining's perspective as we are waiting for the green light. And off we go. Big, oh my word, Yonti's going to get a fantastic run alongside Chris Vining. You're going to be 3 wide for a brief second as Van Vestermael is up to P2. Yonti's got the hard run through here, going into the hard braking zone. They almost collide to keep themselves clean, but that is a late break from Chris Vining, which means he'll keep himself ahead of Yonti, who did get scared a little bit off the line fairly. And Simon Bauer is trying to get his nose stuck in as well alongside of Yonti. Going around the outside is not ideal. He's not going to get in that position there, that's for sure. Yonti should be able to hold the inside, clip that apex nicely, and you can keep that position. That's exactly what he's done. Simon Bauer's still sticking his nose in through the right-hander. He might even pull that off. I don't think he is. It's a drag race still. This is not ending. I was expecting it to be over by now, but they're still going at it. Coming into the left and then into the right again after. I think Simon Bauer will finally get this done because there's surely no way that Yonti can stick this around the outside. And realistically, they need to concede. One of them has to concede because they're only going to lose out to the drivers ahead.
Yeah, look at the gap that they've formed already. It's absolutely enormous. But they're still side by side. They've been side by side the entire lap so far. This is ridiculous.
Go.
And Yonte finally concedes and Bauer takes the place.
We did also miss as well that Van Vestermael did actually get past Chris Vining going into that hairpin as well. So fair play to him. Well done. It is now a Porsche 1-2, which I'm sure they're very happy about. You heard from yourself earlier. You heard from him himself earlier, should I say. Oh, that's a big mistake. Is that Luke Francis? Yes, it is. Bit of a tank slapper. Went off towards the wall. I think he avoided the wall.
I think he may have had contact with Ogden.
Might have done.
I'm just going to get the replay up and have a little look-see. Yep, and I'm on now, and yep, so it was Ogden basically just in the braking zone turned a little bit to the right, had a little bit of contact, and that knocked him off slightly, but that wasn't what caused him to drop down. So that was just a few turns beforehand. So yeah, that was unrelated.
It's Sag. It is the biggest of Sages. Van Vestermael, he's actually doing a good job of staying alongside, well, close enough to Reese here, and Chris Vining in the same side of boat, but that gap from P3 to P4 is just a bit too much.
It blows my mind how every time someone comes around this, for the first couple of laps, all you see is the plastic cones just being launched into the stratosphere.
Well, it's the optimal line. You got to do it. It's the only way you're going to be a quick boy is if you do send those cones out of the planet. In fairness, I think Reese is just sending them back home, really.
That's it. It was
A little
like
gift, souvenir.
just a token to his children. You know?
Yeah, exactly. A souvenir. Kids, look what I did today.
Just having a look, Levchenko is attempting to try and get onto the back of Ogden, but just not able to really close in at the right moment.
Oh, Yonti's got right off the track. Oh, that's way too deep. He's lost a lot of places. Levchenko's even going to get ahead of him, and you don't want that. We've been here before. When Levchenko gets ahead of you, you're not going to get past him. So Yonti, I think he knows this. He's seen this before. He's got to proper go for it and get him through.
Mead, though, he's making such an effort to get past Levchenko. Levchenko makes a little spin, and that Mead has to make some avoiding action to get out of that and not run into the back. That could have been a disaster for both those drivers, but Mead's quick reactions gets him out of that before there's any issue.
What's happened to Chris Vining? He's dropped significantly. I'm going to go back 30 and see if I can find out what it is. Because he's lost out a lot of time to P2. We now have a McLaren, which is Ogden, on the back of him here. I don't think anything significant has happened. He does look really uncomfortable in that GTR today.
Yeah, and Bauer, you know, he is slowly catching in to the two in front after they had a little bit of a gap to play with, but Bauer's now, you know, clean air, and the two in front are kind of fighting, but not really. They're working together mostly to keep going forward, but Vesemel is making sure that Reese knows he's there. You know, if you make a slight mistake, I'm going to take this position from you.
So I'm going to do it. I'm going to risk a commentator's curse here. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't say that. Oh my god, if I'd have said it that little bit earlier. Oof. Right. Looking at this battle for P1, P2, right? Reese Spencer, naturally the quicker driver. Okay? More consistent, I would say, out of the two of them. And that is my only worry for Van Vestermael, okay? He's a really good, quick driver. My issue for Van Vestermael is he just lacks that consistency that he needs in order to be super quick every lap. So if he can pull it together and keep himself consistent, I reckon he might have a shot at taking Reese off that race win spot. But that chicane is the bit that scares me for him. I'm worried he's going to make a bit of a boo-boo going into it, and it's going to cause a bit of a spinella for him.
A little bit of death.
A bit of death and carnage.
Yeah, I mean, it's... As we said in the last race, that is so easy to make a mistake over that chicane. It's just... No car seems to take that chicane well. And I'm just having a look now as well. If we look at the fights, Mead is still trying to get past Levchenko, and we know that is a mammoth task.
It's definitely not an easy move to pull on a GTR, let alone one that's been driven by Levchenko.
Yeah, he's honestly, the big chungus in his hands is... it's a delight to watch because it is pure, you know, racecraft, just to see how well he can hold cars back.
Well, Van Vestermael still staying around about the same gap. Actually, I take that back. He's closed in, you know. He's actually doing a pretty good job of closing in. You got Chris Vining, well, eventually lost out to Ogden. He almost looked for a move on him, but it didn't get him. The Schumi S's can be quite disastrous for McLaren as Ogden almost kisses the gravel. Jonas Hackler had a bit of a weird race so far. He had a not bad quali. I mean, he was P5. I expected a little bit more from him, but then come into the race, start of it, been a bit of a disaster. But you can never count Yonti out. I mean, look at Misano. Was it Misano that time? I think it was, right?
Yeah.
When he pulled off that insane comeback for the race win.
Yeah. But he did qualify P4, to be fair. It wasn't P5. He did qualify P4.
Close
but
enough.
yeah, it was so tight in the top for pole position there. So, yeah, there was not much in it between the top runners there. But yeah, you're right. He's had a little bit of a weird race. He's dropped back slightly. And, yeah, he now seems to just be a bit stuck. But, you know, he's still just off the P4, realistically. He's in this fight. So he's still got good points and good positions that he can gain from this race. Just having a look though, Vesemir keeping that gap at 4/10 really consistently. So
Yeah.
it looks now like they are just working together and just trying to build a gap because Bauer is released and he was running a little bit quicker than them. So now they've both just like, nope, we're not going to fight each other. And now they're both putting in 53s. While Bauer is stuck in the 54s. So, yep, the Porsches are really delivering the pace as it stands right now.
Well, I'm really pleased. Maybe the reverse psychology is working. Maybe me saying, oh, I don't think Vesemel's got the consistency he needs in order to keep up with him. Maybe that is what's allowing him to be so good. So maybe he needs to send me a thank you note. Maybe slip me a couple of, maybe a 20 or something, you know, who knows? But I'm going to keep reverse psychology in him and saying, I'm still not sure. I'm still not confident.
Honestly, I don't think that consistency is necessarily his problem. I think it's more he's been caught up in incidents that realistically not necessarily had anything to do with him. And because of that, he's had, you know, bad races where he's had to like work his way back in. So I think instead of more consistency, I think, you know, accident avoidance might be the better. When he's been running in free air, he's been fine. You know, it's just certain instances in wheel battles have left him a bit more battered and bruised than his fellow racers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I've lost count of the amount of times I've seen Vesemir getting bullied around. I mean, he's also done himself in no justice either. I've seen many races where he's lost control of the car and struggled to keep himself under control. But like there, for example, he almost lost it there. But I mean, we've obviously missed the overtake from Yonti, but he's done it.
Oh yes, he has.
He's through.
Up into P5. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, Bauer doesn't look like he's got an answer for the guys in front. He's just consistently a few tenths slower than what they're able to do. So that gap is building, and Bauer's in a very, very lonely P3 right now.
All by himself. He's been there before. Do you remember Bathurst?
Yes.
When he couldn't have been any more on his own until he killed himself?
Well, that's depressing. He was so lonely he killed himself.
Never even crossed my mind that was the case, but yeah, absolutely. That was literally what happened. He was so lonely, he went, fuck it, let's just end it all. Just smashed into a wall.
Yeah, it's hopefully we're not going to see him bin it this time, because, you know, a juicy P3 would go to very well for him right now. That would go, oh, that would just taste so sweet.
How sweet would it taste? Are we talking like
so sweet? We're talking like you know,
raspberry sweet?
No, we're talking like, you know, dipping your tongue in a sugar factory sweet. A little bit too sweet, but sweet.
I want to ask questions, but there's actually battles happening that we have to talk about. But unfortunately, we can't. Oh, Van Vesemir is just so close to the back of Reese. I'm actually not confident that they're actually communicating to each other. I'll be honest with you.
You know what? They did say to me earlier is in these races, normally Reese and James are in comms together, just listening to each other and talking shit. So yeah, there's every chance that Van Vessemel is not in those comms.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I'd be very surprised if he is. And to be honest, like, I think they'll still be taking the team game into account slightly, but at the same time, I do genuinely believe that Vessemel is pushing flat out. I think he's giving... don't get me wrong, I think Reese is the same, but I think the difference maker is one person is much more confident, shall we say, than the other in their race pace, but you know, the power that Vessemel is showing right now, it almost screams to me that he's been seriously sweating to get good.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's not that he wasn't good before.
No,
but it's just
not.
how much he's grown since the start of this season to now. Yeah. As we see a little boy, Jonas Hakala, attempting to make a move on Ogden, but he just backs out there. Probably correct move. The dive would have been deadly, but he is catching up and putting pressure all over Ogden right now.
Oh, he's going for it. Van Vessemel. He's had a little flickerino. He's going to go for switchback. Yep, this is a switchback, but switchback doesn't work here. Not in turn 1 anyway, because you need the inside for turn 2, ideally. Because of the run in towards turn 3, it's just such a weird one. You got to try and keep it together for both of them. Oh, a bit late. He's going to lose time. I mean, in fairness, actually, Reese went a bit deep there. So this should allow Vessemel to close in, but that is going to be another warning. I think Vessemel is actually on his second, I believe.
Yeah, that's to be honest, as we were saying earlier, turn 1, I mean, the whole turn 1 and 2 is actually very, very similar to the Hungary track. And it's almost impossible. I mean, you saw how well, like, Lewis Hamilton had, 2 seconds a lap faster tyres than Alonso, but it's just so easy to defend into that type of complex.
Yeah.
And it's very, very, very similar turn layout here for turns 1 and 2. So, you just need to position your car, and trying to go around the outside is so almost never going to work because of the line that you have to take. And if you then get pushed to the outside of turn 2, and again, because of the line you have to take, you're never going to be able to keep the pace and actually make the move stick.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a nice little juicy fight still for P4, and I think, just looking at lap times, Bauer is gaining on the top 2. Well, I mean, he gained 6,000 on Vessemel in the last lap, but he did gain a couple of tenths on Reese Roberts, so he is still slowly bringing it in. Well, the Vessemel's made a big boo-boo. I don't know exactly where he made the boo-boo, but Bauer is now right on the back of him. He's even gonna have a look going in towards turn 1. He's gonna go alongside of him coming towards turn 1. This is gonna be so difficult to take the outside line, but he's gonna try it regardless. Not that he's got much of a choice. Vessemel was able to defend it, but Reese Rob is free. 2-second gap to his teammate technically. And yeah, that's. I did say, I called it. I don't want to be that guy, but I called it.
I'm just having a little look on the replay now to see what happened, and yeah. His back end just stepped out a little bit through one of the fast right-handers, and that just drops him way down. It's actually unbelievable how much time he lost there. But it still wasn't enough to actually have him in the clutches of Bauer. But then going through the chicane, he has another snap, and that's just allowing Bauer through again, and it's in the final corner. He runs a little bit wide as he gets another snap. It looks like his tyres are completely dead.
F indeed. Oh,
3 turns, 3 snaps. That's, yeah,
and a
spooky bum time.
partridge in a pear tree.
It's a little bit early for that. I'll have none of that on my commentating sessions. We get past Halloween first. You can sing spooky songs.
Don't like waiting that long.
Well, I'm sure you would much rather sing you know, something like Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. That'll do. You know, we'll allow it. That's kind of Christmassy, kind of horror-y. Horror-y.
Don't clip this, guys. It's not worth it. We have a fight. P8, P9, P10. They're all giving it the beans. Luke Francis did a little bit of a wobble, and actually look at Adrian. He's trying to stick his nose in on Luke. He's not going to get it.
Oh, Yonti. Oh, contact.
No, where? Who?
Yonti and Ogden. Ogden was losing
got
the
him.
place. Yeah, Ogden was losing the place, and they tried to gain more of the lap, more of the track, and started moving out right. But Yonti was holding his line straight, and Ogden just kind of turned into him a little bit, and there was a big snap from both of them. But it looks now that Yonti is going to attempt round the outside again. And this is again, you can see Ogden just keeps moving over to the right when he's, you know, trying to regain the corner. And if Yonti keeps driving straight, Ogden's forever going to turn into him.
Well, I mean, you know, Yonti giving it the full beans, good. I'm glad we're finally seeing this from him. I say finally. You know, he's proven this in previous races that he's got that, but you know, I just wish that he'd kept it together on the first couple of laps and he didn't screw himself over, and then he'd have been fine.
I'm calling it. Yonti to win race 2.
I think you're right. Genuinely think you're right. Especially with the fact that Respens, Rob Vestermail, and Bauer are going to be stuck behind him if it finishes as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only got a minute left to go of this race. And there will be one more lap, but I think you might be right.
Yeah,
I have faith in you.
I feel it in my toes, and he looks like he's going to attempt to make another dive, but not pulling it off this time. But look at the run that he seems to have gone through the chicane. And, oh, well defended there by Ogden that time. Bauer, though, sorry, I thought he got popped up for a second. I thought he was getting close to Respens Rob, like he'd made a mistake, but nope.
Oh, no.
My timing machine just went mental. So, thanks for that.
You got debated. Confirmed.
Did.
I want to see Yonti get this P4. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Ogden because he's a McLaren driver and I'm a McLaren simp, but I'm more of a Yonti simp right now.
I will love it.
We're still waiting to see whether Reese is a straight line person. Yonti's giving it everything. You can see the way that he's attacking the corners now. He's really pushing to try and get it done. I mean, the knock that he got from Ogden, you know, if he was going to get that position in the first place and then he gets that knock and that stops him from getting it, does that require a steward's involvement? I guess, who knows?
Honestly, I think that, yes, the knock stopped him from getting the position, but it was so touch and go that I would say it's just a racing instant.
Oh, a nice little clip of the curb there. No gravel trap either for him. Same for Ogden though. Same for Vining, who's round the back of them as well. He's running out of time. He's running out of opportunities.
Yep,
we'll see what he's got.
This needs to be done this lap. So realistically speaking, if you can't get it done here, coming in to the kind of chicane, you've pretty much only got one last attempt coming out the final corner. So he needs to be right on the bumper and see what he can do and get really good traction out of these next 2 turns.
Well, the race is over. Respens Rob has crossed the line and taken the Dubski. Bauer has got the P2. Van Vestermail has crossed the line to take P3. Ogden will take P4 with Hackler P5. Vine in P6. James Mead will come up here to take P7. Oh, we need to abuse him. We didn't abuse him. Look at you, Scrublord in P7. There you go. Got him. Levchenko P8. Adrian. Oh, never mind. Adrian snatched it from him. In the closing seconds, can we quickly get a replay of that? Going into the final corner, he got him coming out of the chicane. He got the run he needed, and yeah, that was a very late, successful move there from Adrian. What a beast!
Yep, that was very well done. You know, we know it's not easy to overtake that Chungus, so well done.
Здравствуйте, Melissa. 10 people? Yes, but it is because it is pros, and there's not that many pros across the 2 splits. So it's not that surprising, to be honest. So this is the pro finals. So only the pro drivers are allowed to race in this. But the thing is, yeah, we had 10 drivers, but my word, we've seen some fantastic racing so far.
We really have. They've been nip and tuck, and it's so good to see these drivers, because we know how good each of them is individually, but they've also been paired up against drivers that are, let's be real, they are slower than them. So it's good to see them out fighting people who are all pretty much at the same skill level. And we see Francis going out on track. So this is just so that he gains the P1 position, because he will be starting on P1.
I think they have to complete a lap, I think is what it
Yeah.
is. Otherwise it screws everything over.
Well, he'll put on P1 anyway, so that the thing's correct. So he can
Should we go-
roll
should we
out
go-
and everyone can go behind him.
With him, get the full Luke Francis. Because I know there's a lot of...
experience.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of Luke Francis fans out there, especially within the OR community. And now you're getting an exclusive. You know what? We can even go full blank. There we go. Full blank. You don't need any heads-up display. You just need to look at this glorious man in this glorious car, just doing a lap or two.
Just being glorious.
Yeah, just being glorious.
That's what we'd like to see. Just all the glory of the big yellow Ferrari.
What were we talking about when I said I had questions, but we couldn't because it was a race? Because this is the time, right now.
Oh yeah, dipping my tongue into like a sugar factory.
Oh, yes. Why? Why would you want to do that in the first place?
Because that's the sweetest thing I could think of on the spot, and that was how it was going to taste for Bauer to get a P3, which ended up being a nice tasty P2. So now it even tastes even more sweet. It's like, you're going to a sugar factory and you're licking the sugar, but they've also like doused it in cocaine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you could go to any sweet/chocolate factory and take a goodie bag of anything you wanted, which factory and what would you take?
Does it need to be a real factory? Because the correct answer is Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
True. Okay, yes, real factory. Because I think everybody would have said Willy Wonka's, right?
I mean, yes, they would have to. Because it's the only correct answer. You just, have to be prepared for death if you're going. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, as a Scotsman, I feel obliged to say Tunnocks. But,
What? Timmix?
like, Tunnocks. It's like...
Tunnocks?
It's like
Did we have this
the
conversation
biggest,
the other day?
Yes, it's the biggest Scottish confectionery place. Like, they're fantastic. I used to work down the street from the Tunnocks factory, and they had like a cafe as well, and the cafe was just full. Like, you could get like, your normal like bacon rolls and stuff as well there, but they just had like loads and loads and loads of cakes and baked goods and all the different Tunnocks confectionery and stuff. It is so good. I will send you a box of Tunnocks stuff, because for one,
I'm
their
sure
tea
you
cakes
said
are
that before.
fantastic. Yeah, I was only like a week ago, but like I will send you like a box of stuff. It's like their tea cakes and their caramel wafers and stuff. They're honestly, Tunnocks are fantastic. But like, I mean,
Are you thinking about Tunnocks right now? Is that why your brain's just shut down?
yeah, it's just melted. It's melted with all those amazing confectionery products. But like, realistically speaking, if you're to go somewhere and take like a goodie bag of anything, you're probably going to be looking at Cadbury's, because
I don't know.
they have such a big selection.
They do, but like, when I think of Cadbury's, there's not really many Cadbury's stuff that I actually really like. Like, Fruit and Nut, not Fruit and Nut, Whole Nut, is like my favorite one that they do. After that, I have no idea. I don't even know what else I'd go with after that.
They've got such a large thing though. Like, for one, fudge is just one of the greatest sweets that you could possibly get. So, you get yourself a bunch of Cadbury's fudge. They do the Cadbury's do the cream eggs. Cream eggs are mind-blowingly fantastic.
That's
Like,
true, but they're also you could only have like maximum 2.
Speak for yourself.
Well, before your intestines or your stomach goes, holy hell, what the hell have you given me? Then your body goes, oh my god, time to start vibrating because of the volume of sugar I've got in it. Your teeth start falling out and your dentist sues you.
Well, right, okay, let's just go through. You've got the fries chocolate stuff, the peppermint cream and the mint stuff. That's Cadbury's. You've got what else? You've got Boost. You've got the Chomps, Crunchies, Curly Wurlies, Flakes, Twirls, Whisper,
Flakes are good.
Whisper Gold. Whisper Gold is one of the greatest things on the planet.
Nah.
Freddos, obviously the Dairy Milk chocolate bars and then the Dairy Milk caramel. You've got what else you've got? You've got there's other things. I know there's other things. Did we say double deckers? We do the Cadbury's Eclairs, the mini eggs as well, Heroes, Roses.
Cadbury's do Bounty?
I don't think Cadbury's do Bounty.
Who does Bounty?
I don't know. Some chat can tell us who does Bounty. In fact, I'll Google it and find
More
out.
of a savory kind of guy. What's your savory thing? What savory thing would you go for? I like Cadbury's Orange 12. Wait, do Cadbury's do Terry's? Is Cadbury's Terry's or is Terry's Terry's?
Oh.
Because if they do Terry's, I'm sold.
To be honest, that should have been the question straight away. Who does Terry's? We'll go to that. We'll go there.
Is it Terry's that does Terry's?
It's a company called Caram Bar and Co. So it initially was in a place called Terry's Chocolate Works. The brand has changed ownership though and is now by Caram Bar and Co, which is a company in France. Now we know. Although that is a very good shout because Terry's Chocolate Orange is like...
Terry's Chocolate Orange is phenomenal. Do you remember Karamak? I do remember Karamak, but I've actually not ever had one. Where's Reese?
Karamak.
Where's Reese? Can he do a straight line?
No.
I'm going chase cam just so I can see.
Mead's oh, look how far Mead is just to mess with and Vining. Oh, these guys. These jokers.
Oh, this bitch. Who's the other one? Vining? What is that?
Yeah, Vining. Yep.
I am furious. Reese, straight line, otherwise I'm not simping it. Straight line, Reese.
Told to fuck it.
Right, I'm not simping for you. Has Yonti done it in a straight line?
Yonti did do it in a straight line, and then when he saw everyone else was deliberately messing it up, he moved afterwards. He moved late to fuck it.
You know what? Screw you, James. Screw you, Chris. Screw you, Reese. I hate all three of you. I hope that you get murdered turn 1, lap 1. I hope you don't recover in your race. Nah, I'm just kidding. I actually really want to see them just pull it back, but anyway, still.
You know fine well, after they left the commentary booth, they immediately went in the chat and was like, 100%. Guys, make sure we do not do a straight line.
I'm even contemplating joining their voice chat just so I can roast them. You're going to love this. Raven, why do I have a feeling you had something to do with this?
Yep. I feel it. Oh, Raven Duck. That pesky Raven Duck. Oh, as Adrian's going off track, having a little excursion.
I don't even want to look.
I can't even look at you.
I am disgusted. Let's go for that chase cam before Mullock gets summoned to the chat and beats the crap out of me. He hates chase cam with a passion. You're welcome. You. Mullock, put a bleep in here. You beep. Well done, Mullock. That was good. Remember when you and Yonti blocked the track? I do remember that. Yes, actually.
I remember that.
I must clarify, though, that was in a practice sesh, not in an actual race. And we did it purely with the intention of scaring the living daylights out of Melissa. And it worked. Success.
I'm having a little look here and look at that beautiful, beautiful whacker. Just so good.
You need to stop talking.
Fine,
You do.
Fine.
Because it's an ugly car. I don't know how anyone can look at it and go, oh, that's a beautiful car. Makes me vomit every time I see it. I just want to just poke it in its eyes and throw it in the bin.
You're not getting a Terry's chocolate orange for Christmas.
Oh, fuck. Fine.
Not until you repent.
Gotta do my Hail Marys. Listen, I'll Hail Mary that car off the planet, mate. Not a problem about that at all. Anyway, Luke Francis starting the race from the very front of the grid. Levchenko chasing him down, and Adrian, who I know is a beast, and I cannot wait to see what he's got. But Levchenko's going to have to do the defensive drive of champs, and the green light is on. Then let's get the helicam going. We'll see how we're doing towards turn 1. There's Adrian trying to look for a little flick on the Ferrari. He's going to get boxed in, and actually, now he's going to be scared about the inside. He wants to try and take the inside, but he can't quite do so. Ferrari's got that locked in. That's a big touch, big send. That's Adrian into the side of Levchenko. He's been rotated so hard, and that means that Chris Vining is up to P2. I think Mead has actually been sent off as well. Yes, he has. I don't know how he's ended up there, but he is, and that is the saddest of things to see. Yonti getting himself up there as well, fighting alongside Chris. No, it's not Chris. That's the other one. That is Levchenko.
Yep, Chris Vining's a little bit further up the field. But yeah, Yonti's definitely involved right now. He's P5 at the moment, and looking, things are looking okay for him.
Paul Berger, we're going to fall out, me and you, mate. You take that back. You take that right back.
Thank you, Paul. You're defending my whacker.
Mead is in such a bad way. Oh my god, look at this train. This is a beautiful train. Thought this was pros. I mean, it was an attempt. Call it that.
Oh, Melissa with the shit.
I know. I don't know why we expect any less from Melissa. The abuse.
It's not even sunny out, but there's still extra shade now.
The abuse I get in the chat and in DMs from Melissa, heartbreaking. Especially once they just. Oh, yeah. All right, I'll give you that. Yonti sizing up Adrian. Is he actually going to go for ascending to T1? You know what? If Yonti gets a good run through this final corner, which it looks like he's actually opened it up quite nicely, is it good enough? No, it's not.
Although it might be good enough for a mind punt.
And it is Adrian. We have raced with him a few times, so it wouldn't surprise me if he does go for a little cheeky mind punt. Plus, he's actually going to have a mental... I was going to say negative attitude is probably what I should go with. Disadvantage, mental disadvantage, there you go. Because of that big send that he did earlier. Oh, Yonti's following him off the track. They're both getting a warning for that one. Bit deep there from Adrian as well. This is going to allow Yonti to get stuck in. Almost has a little collision between the two. That is still Adrian feeling a little bit unstable. But look how close Yonti is now. Only a couple of feet separate the two of them. No send.
Yonti's got big feet though.
He does. And he's a big guy in general.
Indeed. He is 6'7", 6'8".
6'7", yeah. Big boy.
He's a big boy.
Huge.
Longest of legs, the biggest of feet.
Oh, that is Levchenko. Yeah. Oh, actually, look at Yonti. Is he going to go for a send? No, he thought about it for a second. If the track could have been a bit wider, I can almost guarantee you would have sent it. He's decided not to go for the big boy yeet. Actually, Vesemel going for the outside here. Oh, there's contact. Levchenko getting a bit of a kiss there from the Porsche. I think Vesemel should really give that back. And actually, look at Respin's Rob. He goes, oh, my team is doing all the work for me. I'll just slip through, get alongside the GTR. Maybe I can tow my... Oh, no! No! Death!
The Chungus has had 2 Porsches in the side. And... to be honest, neither of them I don't really think.
Oh, Chris Vining.
Has full.
Chris Vining on race lead. He's actually got it. Going into the final corner, Luke Francis just went a little bit deep. And actually, at the same time, because of that, Ogden is very quick out of the final corner, getting alongside of him, almost fully alongside. He should be by the time we get to the braking zone. And he's going to keep that. I think he does.
Oh, Yonti.
Yonti with a big boy yeet as well. He's done it. Fair play.
Yep, Yonti can see all the action in front of him, and he's like, I want a piece of that. Let me just get on by, and I'll join in.
Give me that cake. I want the cake.
A nice moist cake. And I apologise to the 20% of you who are listening to this who really hate the word
Moist. Damp. Damp is such a negative word, isn't it?
You know what's a delicious word?
Go on.
Moist. Just love some moist cake right now.
What is your favourite cake?
The moistest kind.
Are you trying to help them gain viewers or lose viewers? I don't know what you're trying to do here.
Depends. Some people might find it really attractive to hear me say
Stop
moist.
saying it.
For real though, I could do so with some cake right now.
What cake though?
Oh, I honestly, I'm not really a big cake guy, but just someone mentioned cake earlier, and I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I could really do with some cake. That would go down nicely right now.
Chocolate cake is like the only cake I'll really eat. I will eat strawberry sponge. Nearly saw Adrian punt Yonti. Melissa's not happy with you, mate. Wet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa.
Ugh.
Wait, you don't like the sound of wet?
That's
Really?
what I don't know. I mean, when you think wet cake,
All right.
then it's disgusting. The word of wet isn't a problem for me.
I don't understand how people can hear a word and just be like, that sounds disgusting.
I don't know, there are some words that are just vile. Like mead. Especially if mead follows
with an E.
James. Yeah, got an E on the end. And is a driver from an Aston Martin. Yeah,
Oh,
can't
God,
wait for you to
shivers
watch
down my
this one
spine.
back.
Shivers down the spine.
Need a moist track to spice things up. They need to give commentators the ability to just type commands. They'll just immediately just light switch the track conditions. This could go full Bernie Eccleston. Just be like, and / wet, and then just rain drops. Track's gone completely wet. All these guys on dries are dead.
Aye, just do it whenever someone's going into like the hardest braking point of the track.
The
Like,
big bison.
"Goodbye!"
Bang! See you later. Yeah.
And then we just, sitting here like, a Bond villain. Just be like, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to crash.
Alright, well,
We
we should probably talk racing. Because Yonti is doing a very good job of closing on Luke Francis, who's gone off track. That's an F. No, I hit the wall. No, Luke. No. That's too racist.
Commentator's curse.
I don't think you can call that a commentator's curse. I said that Yonti was catching Luke, and then he sent himself off into the wall. I don't think you can put that one on me.
I'm going to put it on you.
I don't have it with words, but when someone dabs, I just want to stomp on their spinal cord. God damn.
It's fine. She's a medical professional. She knows how to put it back together.
Oh, Van Vestermael going around the other side. Yeah, on Adrian. Oh, what? Is he going to stick that all the way around? No. But
Nobody has given himself a great opportunity to get the slipstream here and make a big boy send into turn 1.
Well, I mean, if you remember what Mead and Reese were saying earlier, makes a difference. Oh, that's late. That's so late. Is it good enough to keep alongside? The acceleration is good, but he's got the inside for turn 2. It looks like Adrian's just a little bit too far ahead. Oh, is he?
No, he's not.
He's done it.
Big
Beast.
About.
Yeah, what a lad.
That's good to see. Right now he's the top leading Porsche after Spencer Robbs had his instant and way down the field. But yeah, Vesmail really shown what he can do this race.
And Chris Vining has the fastest lap. I mean, he's doing 54s now. His fastest was a 54.684. His last lap was a 54.948. So his pace is really solid right now. Luke Francis under pressure from Simon Bauer, who has had, to be fair, some pretty rough races.
Yeah, he's definitely had some rough racing. To be fair, like most of these guys have, you know, over the course of the season, have had their fair share of incidents where everything's looked bright and rosy for them, and then suddenly it all came crashing down.
Yep. It's sad, so sad. This is a sad situation.
The saddest of situations.
Mhm.
Yes.
Losing on the straight in slipstream, just Porsche things. True. What's this emote that's going on in the chat? Oh.
It's a dabbing emote.
Oh.
Just for basically, people are saying that they're so thirsty for Melissa that they want her to come and stomp out their spine.
Believe me when I say this, guys. Melissa will kill you. So
Yeah. She's a black belt. And
just in general, even without martial arts training, she'll kill you. Believe me.
Melissa, what is it you do? Is it Krav Maga?
One of the two. You'll see. On Ogden, doesn't do Krav Maga. She does crazy.
That's in a film, and I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I don't know karate, but I know crazy. James Mead and Reese Smith Rob, the two friends fighting on track. I wonder if one's going to end the other. I think Reese is the faster out of the two, right? What do you say?
I'm so yes, I would agree, but now you've put that in my head, and I'm trying so hard to remember what that's from.
Well, the film?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Brazilian
Google it.
Jiu-Jitsu. Close enough.
Google it.
That's admitting defeat.
It's not really, is it? It's hurrying up so we can get back to the comms.
That's fine. I'll put it behind me, and I will.
Oh,
just
Adrian with a
decide.
10-second penalty. I think we know what that's for.
Yeah, that would be for
Oh my word! I've just seen how far back Levchenko is.
Yep, he's having a rough time of it. But
yeah, I'm surprised Reese hasn't actually passed Mead yet. Oh, yeah, there you go. You're welcome, Reese. I will expect my 15 quid in my bank account. PayPal. And well, although the drag race is not favoured for the Porsche here at all. This is like the worst case scenario for the Porsche. Mead is just... Oh, and there's a kiss there as well. You know they're roasting each other in chat.
yep, absolutely they will be. They're you know, they're really good friends, and as we said, they're probably sharing voice comms right now and taking the mick out of each other. But you know, it's all in good fun, good jest.
I'm genuinely scared for Saturday. I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed in the
yes.
comms. I didn't want to watch it back. I didn't want to watch it back.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be so good.
I'm not even gonna watch it. I'm just gonna be
Shanghai Noon or Shanghai Nights. Whatever one is the first one.
Oh, it was Owen Wilson that said it.
Yeah, Owen Wilson. He says it to Jackie Chan. That took me too long.
Did it, proud of you.
Whatever one the first one is, Shanghai Noon or Shanghai Nights.
Shanghai Noon. Oh,
Noon,
Moritz with a €10 donation says thanks OR for season 1 of EU Sprint. I had a blast.
So have we.
It's true. True. Thank you, Moritz, for the donation. Appreciate you, boy. Gunter doing well in P3. Yeah, but he's slacking. He should have had Ogden already.
Slacker.
We both, me and you, said Yonti to win this race. I mean, yeah,
I still believe.
There's still 26. Oh. Not if he does that. Christ.
But yeah, I still believe. 26 minutes for Yonti to squeeze on past Ogden and then sneak on up to Vinan.
Send. Thought he was going to send it, but he decided against it. Love you guys. Love you more, Moritz. Oh. I'll tell you something. Yonti is all over him.
Yep.
If there's a crack in Ogden's defense anywhere, Yonti will expose it. Without a doubt.
Yonti's going to be steaming on his way through that crack. Oh. 2-1-1, which is Levchenko with a 5-second penalty for causing a collision. 10-second penalty for causing a collision. Is it going to be 15? Get your bets in?
No.
No. Okay. So that would be for collision with Spence Rob. So,
I don't recall who was at fault for that. I mean, the stewards obviously deemed it that.
yeah, I mean, I would guess the one who got the penalty. You know,
No, our stewards are crap,
from
alright?
betting man.
I must backtrack real quick and explain. I was joking. Our stewards are actually really good. So, just before I get flamed by all the stewards, except Raven Duck, he sucks.
Yeah, Raven Duck, he definitely sucks.
Mhm.
He broke the straight line.
Wait, Raven Duck did that? No. Oh, you mean he told everyone to do it? You mean?
Yeah.
Good. That's fine. I thought you meant he was in a car and just deliberately broke it. Like, I thought he was in a safety car.
That would be funny, to be fair.
No, it would not. Jonas Hakula. Needs to hurry up now, mate. He's lost time. He's on lost a little bit of time. He's only 3/10 off. But he's just not closing in enough. He's against a McLaren and an Audi. And on a track like this, I think the Audi is supposed to be stronger, I believe.
I mean, to be fair, with these guys, they're so talented that, you know, I think they can all make all the cars work.
True, true. Adrian and Bauer. Bauer having a lot of straight line speed, but yeah, oh, that's a bit of an accidental send. You know he didn't mean to, but it paid off. Big boy send from Bauer. Well done, mate. Very, very good move.
Yeah, that was opportunistic, and he's made it stick.
Also, because of how slow these two have been, Vesemel has actually closed right onto the back of Yonti now. So just as a heads up. So, race leader, Chris Vining, 55.3. Ogden, P2, 55.2 last lap. Jonas Hakala, 55.4. Vesemel, 54.6. He is flying.
Yep. And now, you know, as we always say, one thing to catch, another to pass. We saw Yonti managed to get nice and close to Ogden, and he's been there for a while now. He came up nice and quick, and has been unable to move any further forward since then. So, you know, I still back him. I'm still thinking that he will get this position and potentially start making... Oh, as we see Ogden go quite wide. Probably will get a warning for that, but it's not going to cost him a position. He has managed to get back on track. But yeah, he's still got plenty of time to make moves, and, you know, he's not so far. He's still only, you know, 2.3 seconds off, 2.7 seconds off, really, the race lead. So, he's attacked that curve a bit too much, and then we see Vesemel doing the exact same behind. So a little bit of follow the leader there, and the same mistake was replicated through the drivers.
Yeah. The biggest of Fs. Reggie, how are you finding the Nissan at Laguna Seca so far? Not as bad as I expected it to be, truth be told. It's not great, but considering that is supposed to be one of our weakest tracks, both as a driver and as a car, we're looking pretty good for a solid result. But, you know, it's a 4-hour race. Anything can and will absolutely happen, so I have full faith in my boy Yonti. I'm just hoping I don't let him down.
I have full faith that you will.
Well, let him down?
Yeah.
I love you too. Get dead to me, alright? Raven Duck, you're reinstated as head admin sim, alright?
Yeah, he broke the straight line.
Okay,
What's more offensive to you?
I'm casting. We both know that's
Jason's
never
probably
happening.
not here to listen to that comment, so you know.
No, he's not. That's why I didn't commit to it. Yeah, I agree with Virtus. Vining is killing it this one. Yeah, he's doing a really good job in this one. In fairness, he did kind of get done in the first race, so it wasn't really, like, entirely his fault. But, yeah, he pulled it off. Really good run so far in this race. We'll see if he can maintain it though, because the gap is slowly coming down. Well, I say slowly. Last lap from Chris was a 55.6. Last lap from Ogden, 55.1. Yunti, 55.4. So they are closing in. Vesmail now stuck behind Yunti is now sort of matching their pace.
Yeah, it's so difficult to actually make a move stick around here. You know, you need a good advantage on the car in front, or for them to make a mistake, and that is where the kind of tactical mind games come into play. Because realistically speaking, you know, if you're only a couple of tenths faster than another car, you're not going to have the overspeed anywhere where it counts.
Yeah. How much is fast? How much faster is Junior? I don't want to talk to you, Raven Duck. Okay. Oh, that was a
you
bit of a
nearly
send.
reinstated him as head stimp as well. Come on, see the mistakes that you make.
Oh, he's fixed it very quickly. Don't worry. Just saw Yonti make a bit of a boo-boo going into T1, and that was on Ogden. It's now backfired, and now Vesamail is all over the rear end of him. So Yonti needs to get his act together now before he ends up in big doo-doo.
Yeah, he tried to go around the outside a little bit, and it's just the back end stepped, and he has lost himself some time. But we did see he is faster than Ogden. He's just not been able to make a move stick, so he should be able to close that back in again.
Oh snap, I need to do the classification. I haven't done that yet. Oh, good news. Can you remind me when the cutoff is, Robert, for the classification? Like, is it a
7
I need
minutes.
to do it? Yeah, okay. Junior was 0.5 seconds faster than I was in classification.
Junior's improving so much, and it's good to see.
So, yesterday, Junior was like half a second faster than me in practice.
Nice.
Which is terrifying.
It's good though. It's good to see. You know, he's getting good, and just keeps working on that consistency and working on that pace, and he's going to be one hell of a driver. Oh, Yonti with another bit of a slap there, and that puts him closer into the jaws of Esmail once again. He has caught up to the back of Ogden though, and so this slipstream might save him a little bit.
Alright. 18.5 minutes to go of this race. Chris Vining has found a bit of pace. He's actually pulled a 55.1 out, and that's allowing him to pull away quite nicely on P2. But this fight for P2 is hot, to say the least, because you've got a nice 3-car little fight that's going on here. Obviously, you got Ogden, who's leading this little train. You got Jonas Hackler, who's stuck in the middle of it, and then you got the third stuck there. The 9th of the third. Are you sure? Classification is for the 9th, because the race is Saturday. That's the 3rd of the 9th.
It's the 3rd of the 9th. So that's
which is tomorrow.
No, it's tomorrow, sorry.
That's midnight their time. What time is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta do some maths. Sit tight, chat. What time is it in AEST? Okay. So I have to do it within the next... Excuse me.
Just do it after the race.
I gotta go to bed. I got work tomorrow.
You work from home.
I genuinely could do it after. That's true. I have a thing tomorrow that I can't talk about publicly because...
Yes, a thing.
Yes.
Thing.
Because things are happening.
So you need to do the thing before you do that thing. So
True.
this thing you do after the race thing. Thing.
Thing.
Battle for P1 has now got really spicy because Ogden is within 6/10 of Vining, so Vining might have made a slight mistake. He has made a mistake this lap. He's lost a second and a half, and that's invited Ogden back into the party. So now Vesemel, Hackler, Ogden, Vining, all fighting for that P1 spot.
Top 4, giving it the goodness, you know.
Top 4 doing the do.
They are doing the do.
You know who else is doing the do? Spence Robb and Luke Francis. They have been fighting so much for the last few laps, but it looks like Spencer Rob's finally going to make it stick as Francis goes just a little bit wide, and Spencer Rob's able to put that Porsche up one position into P6.
Yeah, good recovery drive considering the damage he had earlier. He's done it right. He's done it well. And this is why we love him, I think.
Definitely. Even though he doesn't know what a line is.
That's true.
Unreal. Unreal.
I'm going to send him a ruler. I'm going to send him a 1 meter stick. Then he can really get the point, you know?
Right. Just a 1 meter stick that he tapes to the side of his car. And so like all you need to do is just make sure it hits the side of the car in front.
Yeah. And then you Gucci. It's still screwed up. And he'd do it on purpose as well because he's that kind of guy.
Yep. He would use it as a lance.
15 minutes to go, and the top 4 couldn't be any more condensed if we tried. The other thing
Top
we're missing
4
here is
1.3 seconds.
if we had a safety car now, imagine.
And
Or Ogden's
the
off.
car has left.
Ogden's off. Yeah, we could do a VSC. Look how stacked they are. They're literally wheel to wheel. Well, bumper to bumper. Yeah, we'll go with that. Wing to front. Splitter to bumper. Diffuser.
Okay?
No, it's late. I'm tired. I've had a really, really long day. Yanti, is he going to go for ascent? He's having a look. Oh, fight against it. Go back.
And that was a very great positioning there from Ogden. He made sure that he nailed that apex so that there was no switchback available.
Vitorino. Oh, he's having to defend now. Yanti's in such a weird position. He's having to attack and defend. I guess the same for Ogden, but he's not really in with a shot of attacking on Vine. And like the panic now that these guys are going to start feeling, especially knowing that the time is running out, but it's not going out quick enough for them. Some of them will be like, I'm just trying to buy my time so I can get close to the edge of the race and I can actually start getting aggressive at a certain point. But at the same time, they're like, I need more time. I've not quite got the ability to fight right this second. I need more from this.
Yep, and that's Ogden losing a little bit of touch from Vining there, and Akala's just desperate to just be like, let me go and I'll attack him, and then you can join in the fight afterwards.
I love watching Yanti drive.
It is rather glorious.
With Adrian and Francis, they've swapped places. Adrian is up, but he does have a 10-second penalty, so that could really throw things. I think Francis just has so much damage. Oh, is this Yanti's chance? Has he finally got the run? Never mind, he's losing ground.
Yeah, I think he let off the throttle a little bit because it looked like he was about to run into the back of Ogden rather than get the move done. So, yeah, Ogden's mistake is effectively uncapitalized upon. Oh, never mind, another mistake, and that is Ogden away into the grass and down into P4. But this is now also, look at Vesemil. Vesemil is coming for Yonte and making that move for P2.
The drag race is on and it's not favoured for the Porsche. It's definitely favoured for the Audi. You can see the difference that one has made. He's going to come over to just cover it off nicely and make sure he doesn't run a bit too deep. So well done to Yonte to defend there. I think he was favoured, he was helped, should we say, by the fact that his car is so fast in a straight line in comparison to the Porsche. But it's not over yet. Still 12.5 minutes to go. We've seen Yonte already make a couple of mistakes.
He has. But you know what? Also said he's going to win this race. And you know what? He's in P2, just a second behind P1. He can totally make this work and win this race.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm a believer I couldn't leave him if I tried. I thought love was all the truth in fairy tales. I just don't see a way for Van Vesmel to get him now, though. We're not without a mistake from Yonte. He's going to need an Ogden level mistake in order for Vesmel to get him.
Is that how we're using metrics now? An Ogden level mistake?
Who do you say has made the biggest mistake so far this season?
Oh, this season. Ooh.
And what is the one mistake that stands out the most to you?
Biggest mistake I feel is hard to classify. Most consistent mistake I think actually goes to Darren King.
I think
you know what I'm talking about. You know.
I think so. Are you talking about Kailami?
Yes.
Yeah,
He was making fantastic moves at the king corner and
Yeah.
then bottling it the very next turn.
Immediately
It was
after.
like,
Yeah.
it was like every lap. It was the fastest on track by like 2 seconds, and then he still
And
managed
the worst
to
on
win
track at the same
every,
time.
like, aye.
Yeah. That
So
was
yeah,
the best and worst race I've seen him do ever.
Yes, it was. It was entertaining, at least.
Oh,
Could
100%.
absolutely say it was entertaining. I would say that was my favorite mistake, of the season.
I was going to say, that was also, those overtakes he did were also my favorite moments of the season.
Yes. They
It's
were
like,
so
that
good.
one race contains both the best and worst moments for me for the EU first season.
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
What was
It
the biggest
showing-
crash we saw?
biggest crash? Oh, I don't know. We've had
I know
a
the
few
most
fail-ups.
heartbreaking crash was Bauer, right?
Yeah, that Bauer was pretty heartbreaking.
Oh, I bet I know your answer to this one. Best underdog story of this
Oh,
season.
definitely Christoph Holzer.
Yeah. So
That was oh my god, I was so happy. I was so happy.
oh wait, best moment of the season, Yoncey's race win, blew my mind.
True. I would say that was a great moment in terms of like it was completely unexpected from everything that was going on. I would say that was definitely up there for the best moments of the season.
Biggest mistake of the season. Yeah, Ravenduck's put biggest mistake is Kyle Army by the safety car, which was hilarious.
Well,
I will
yes,
agree.
that was hilarious.
But I would say the biggest mistake was me getting overly excited about Yoncey's race win and destroying my 80 quid keyboard with a pint of rum and coke.
Yeah,
and then
that
Mike
was the most
dropping off.
expensive mistake of the season.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we got a beautiful little fight. Yoncey's actually... It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, boy.
He's doing it. Yoncey is reeling it in.
What happens when you rub in air conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're not laughing, are you? Here it is. Yoncey. Oh, he's having a look down the inside. There's no gap there for you, mate. He could even go for it in the next one if you find... No, he's not. He hasn't got the run he needs. Although that's a bit deep. Is he going to go for a send? He's going to... Oh, no, the closed door. He might even get it here. The run is just too slidey on the exit. Is he going to go for it? He's having a look. He's having to think about it. But, I mean, we call it the Big Chungus for a reason. It is enormous. I'm in the dash cam, or the cockpit cam, should I say, with Yoncey. And just watching him fight in the car, trying to get him, and just how big that ass is. How do you beat that? That's thick with like quadruple C's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it is indeed a big boy, and it's so easy to make that card even wider than it is. You just positioning makes such a big difference, and you can see already Chris is having to try and move the car over, try and break the slipstream, but Yoncey immediately tries to get back in and just keep gaining the momentum. So Vining's definitely feeling the pressure.
I'm just thinking, like, of all these celebrities or like characters that are in like films and stuff like that, what would I say the GTR is like? And I'm just thinking Peter Griffin, because like it's a big fella, right? But at the same time, the way that you drive that car, it's like you don't have to be faster than the guys behind you. You just have to be able to hold them back, right? And I'm just the whole time I'm just picturing the GTI going, no, like just constantly defending against everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I mean, I would have went for Colossal from Marvel, but sure, Peter Griffin.
Nissan Kardashian, that is fantastic. That is so good.
Oh, Yoncey's made a bit of a mistake, went a bit wide, and that's dropped him back from Vining, but then Vining makes his own mistake, and that evens the playing field again. But Vesemir is now being like, okay, if both of you are going to run off track a little bit, I'll take these positions off you.
This, with 6.5 minutes to go, this could genuinely go any which way. Luke Francis is actually having a little glance at Adrian. I don't see that changing though. Oh, he's going for it. Look at this. Go on, Luke. Oh. I got excited. I'm sorry.
You did. You
It
got
was
excited. You ruined
premature.
another keyboard. Unbelievable.
Listen, I've learned my lesson. My glass is nowhere near my keyboard. And I literally halved the keyboard size to make it harder to hit.
Now you're just improving your accuracy.
Oh, Yonsei! Round the outside! No, you can't pull it off there! And he doesn't. That's I mean, I don't blame him for trying, but still. That's bonkers. I am keeping an eye on that Moritz. He's actually going to go for... I think Bauer's actually made a bit of a boo-boo. Yep, he has. We'll quickly go back 10 so you can see it. Here's Bauer. Going a bit deep. And by a bit, I mean a lot. And there he is. He's through.
Yeah. That was 3 deep. 3 deep.
Jonas Hakola. Maybe even the thing is, I don't see how they're getting past this GTR.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
We're needing an Ogden level mistake.
We genuinely are, yeah. I mean, in fairness, it's not that Chris hasn't been making mistakes. It's just Deontay can't capitalize. Oh, he's trying to hear though. He's gonna get the run out this corner. Get over to the inside. He could actually go for a send here if he could just close the door enough. He cannot. Again, Chris
It's
just
fine,
doing
I feel
enough.
It's coming. It's coming. I can feel it.
You feel any waters?
I do. Well, that might just be that I need to go to the loo. So, got that that seepy bladder going on.
Oh, nice. Nice. You really hesitate on that thinking, should I say it?
It was like, should
I?
I mean, they didn't like moist. Surely they wouldn't like seepy bladder.
Seepy. Things you wish you could unhear but can't. Well, anyway, since we were talking about cars, I'm just...
Yeah.
I want to believe that he can do it. It's not for the lack of trying, because you know he is giving it everything. No, but it is now. There's just nowhere to gain. The only place he can gain, he has to take the outside line for, because Chris has already got it covered off every time. There needs to be a boo-boo.
Prince Abubu.
Oh, that's Yonsei boo-boo. He held it. We'll give him that.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah,
It was
it's
a small
alright.
boo-boo.
He's got, what, 3 laps left?
Yeah, I would take a guess and stab in that and say
Maybe
3 laps.
2, maybe 3. 3, 2, 3?
I would say 3 probably. Yeah, well, probably. Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
By the way, he's running out of time. That's the point to make. And, you know, Van Vestermael, who's shown he's got a load of pace, he's not quite quick enough so far to be able to really put any pressure on Yonsei. Yonsei's fully focused on looking forward, not looking backwards. In fact, so focused, we're going to go onto dash cam with him and just watch. We'll go proper cockpit so we can see his steering wheel. I want to see, what is he looking for? Because he's getting caught out. He's definitely faster. That's not the question. He just needs to find the run.
Yeah, he's the problem is that he's probably only around, you know, a half second quicker, and you need more than that really to make a move stick. But this looks like, you know, the little bit of a mistake there, combining this could invite opportunity to dive.
Boy, Yonsei. Oh, mistake from them both. This is just, oh, this is pain to watch because he's just, Yonsei's car is sliding. And I think it's because the temperature dropped. I don't think his pressures are quite set correctly. I could be completely wrong. He's just trying to, yeah, like Moritz says, he's licking the stamp. He's just waiting to send it. He's got one more lap. He's got the next lap and that's it.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's now mind game time. Like, just go for like an inside position and don't go back into the slipstream until well past the braking zone.
Well, we are on the final lap. You just heard the in-game announcer say it. We are running out of time, and Yoncey's going to have a look for a run down the inside. He's putting so much pressure on Chris. Chris has run a little bit wide. This is actually a chance now for Yoncey to finally get this move done. The outside line is not ideal, but he's going to try and stick it through anyway. He saw Vesemir do this earlier on in the race, so coming into the braking zone, he needs to be later. He needs to stick it around the outside. He cannot. And Vesemir's through. No, there's contact. Yoncey is rotated. He's P3. He's P4.
Yep, he's managed to get back on before he lost another position to Reese Spence Rob, who is now sitting there on P5. But yeah, that's heartbreaking.
Oh, it's so sad.
So sad, so sad.
I think Vesemir might get a penalty enough for that. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
It was a tough one to call because I think it was a bit of both, personally. But, Yoncey.
You know what? I'm going to go back and watch it. I don't feel that it's Vesemir's to blame. But let's have a little look. A bit closer.
It's so hard to call, honestly.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't want to be the stewards in that situation because it's so difficult to. I don't know.
The door, like, the gap was there, and Yonti did move over under braking. So,
yeah,
I would call that a racing incident. As much as it pains me.
Sag.
Yeah.
Especially considering where it was.
Yeah, it's I would say it's racing incident. Yonti moved over. There was a gap that basically got removed because Yonti tried to make the attack, like alternate the attack and do a cutback. It's unfortunate.
Well, yeah. But Chris Viney wins. I mean, he had a rough first race, but second race, he pulled it together and he took that dub. And now Van Vesemir, P2, Ogden, P3, Jonas Hacklet. It's the biggest of Sages. It's definitely, they've both gone to the replay to figure out who's at fault. Well, yeah, P4 for Jonas. Reese, P5. Oh, P6. Mead, P7. And Luke Francis will take P8. Adrian with his own penalty will stay P9. And Levchenko, who also gets his own penalty too, will need to finish the remainder of his lap.
Yeah, I'm just watching this now from Vesemir's point of view, and I wouldn't say it broke late, as is being suggested. That all seemed fair, like, and he was definitely getting the apex. So just a bit unfortunate. Yeah, I can't see a penalty coming Vesemir's way for that. That looks like a racing incident.
Let's just quickly go back to it. So. Goes around the outside. Trying to stick it through. So this was good from Yoncey. I just don't think he broke late enough, in my opinion. Then, yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, it's touch and go stuff, you know. Neither of them are at fault. Both of them went for the same gap because it started appearing before them. And it was the best option for both drivers, which is unfortunate. And 2 into 1 does not go. So
when
I don't
think become one.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing a penalty from the stewards from that. But
no.
That's obviously not our decision. So
nope.
We'll see if they do say anything.
I don't think they have. I don't think they will. I don't think they need to. But I can tell you that it's the European Round 1 finals finished. And there were some phenomenal races. Some big overtaking opportunities. Some big sends, let's be honest. Absolutely monster sends. And we even had some new commentators today. And you'll get to hear them again. What day are we on? Thursday? You'll be able to hear them on Saturday. So, yeah. That's it from us here in the European side of Octane Online Racing. Don't go far, because in a short while we'll also have the NA split kicking off in, I think, around about another hour. So yeah, bear that one in mind. But yeah, sit tight. Have a good one. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that subscribe button. And from me, you'll see me on Saturday in the
Getting roasted.
Getting roasted by Mead and Reese. So yeah, looking forward to it. Have a good one. See you soon. Love you too. Bye.